And a very good afternoon to you. Welcome along to the Kia Oval. We're delighted to be here for what's a wonderful game of cricket as we get ready for this double-header at such an iconic venue. The first game up is the women, the South East Stars, hosting the Southern Vipers, who of course have been so good over the years. Delighted to say that Michael McCann is alongside. The news from the middle: South East Stars have won the toss and elected to bowl. We'll go through the teams very, very shortly, but a good game ahead, Michael.
Yeah, it should be fantastic once I turn my microphone on. Very good afternoon, everyone. There's this strange thing in the sky, Jamie. It's big, it's orange, it's bright, and it's making everything really warm. I think they call it the sun. We certainly haven't seen it in May at all, but here on Sunday, the 2nd of June, as those pictures show, I think we're quite optimistic that all of the sudden it's popped out for the day.
Absolutely. Well, we're delighted to be seated here at the Vauxhall end of the ground, but as you see that wide shot, lots of people in very early to have a look at this double-header and get the opportunity to see women who are playing absolutely fantastically at the moment. The South East Stars right at the top of their game. They've gone so well, haven't they, in this competition, and the opportunity to possibly hear an interview and hear from one of the players who's been playing so well in this competition, not just for South East Stars, but getting the opportunity as well to also represent England. Let's hear from the all-rounder, Sophia Dunkley.
Well, I'm delighted to say I am here pitchside, joined by one of South East Stars' star players, the all-rounder Sophia Dunkley, who's taken a bit of time out of her preparations ahead of today's match to talk to us. Sophia, first of all, what a day for it, and what a venue.
Yeah, it's an absolutely beautiful day today. I think all the girls are buzzing to play out here at the Oval because, yeah, it's just such a great place to play.
You guys are absolutely flying in the Charlotte Edwards Cup so far this season. 4 games, 3 wins, 1 abandonment. Confidence must be really high in the camp.
Yeah, I think we're doing really well as a group. We're just playing some good cricket at the moment and hopefully we can keep that consistent and, yeah, get a win at home again.
And for your season so far, you've had a great run in the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy, the 50-over competition. Obviously bouncing back for that initial disappointment of being left out for England and then getting added to the squad. Did you feel you had a point to prove?
I guess there always is that little bit inside you, but I think just trying to win games to Stars is my main focus really, and stay in the here and now, and yeah, it's been great to play and be back in this group.
And that 100 you scored at Beckenham, almost pulling off a record List A chase. I mean, I was there, and it's one of the best List A centuries I've ever seen. But I guess for you as a professional, tinged with disappointment that you couldn't quite get over the line. Just talk us through that day. Yeah,
I think at the forefront of your mind, you always just want to win the game for the team. And I think at the start of the day, 311 was quite a good score on that pitch, and we took it really close. Sadly came away with a loss, but I think it was just a great effort from everyone to get that close, only 2 runs away.
Obviously T20 now, how does the mindset change for you and for the team, and obviously a couple of different personnel as well in the team, so how does that all work in terms of gelling together from one tournament to another?
Yeah, I think just slightly different mindset, but keeping the basics pretty similar. Obviously T20 got a little bit less time, but probably more time than you think, and yeah, I think our group's coming together well, and we know what cricket we want to play, so it's just trying to execute that on the day.
And I've been asking everyone about this today because it was incredible. At Durham, teenager Tilly Courtine-Coleman taking 4 in 4. You had one of the best seats in the house. What was that like? Yeah,
it was unreal, I think. I think no one actually realised it was a hat-trick, or whatever you call a 4-ball hat-trick or whatever. But yeah, it was amazing to see, and the way that, you know, she's so young and she just has that composure and, yeah, takes everything in her stride. But yeah, it was unreal.
Well, we're here at, obviously, the home of Surrey Cricket, and next year the home of Surrey Women as well. That's a really exciting change for the game. Obviously, it's a big change. What are your thoughts on that, on the end of the South East Stars, and we hope the start of a Surrey career for you, or a professional Surrey career?
Yeah, I think it's massively exciting. Obviously, South East Stars built a great team here, but I don't think nothing will change that much. It will be pretty similar, and just exciting to have the Oval as our home properly, and yeah, go and represent Surrey as a team.
Well, first things first, there's a small matter of this year's Charlotte Edwards Cup, the match against Southern Vipers coming up. They're always big rivals, right?
Yeah, I think we always have a really competitive game against the Vipers. We did beat them earlier in the year in the 50-over competition, so yeah, we're off to a good start, but hopefully we can maintain that today.
Well, I know there'll be a big Oval crowd behind you, and we'll be behind you as well, so good luck to you and the team, and thanks for your time.
Thank you very much.
Sam, thanks very much indeed. Lovely to hear from Sophia Dunkley. She's been going great guns throughout the campaign. Let's go back out to the middle and find out the all-important toss.
Well, I'm out here in the middle ahead of the toss. We've had the briefing for the captains. The umpires today, James Treadwell and Rose Dovey. Our match referee is Helen Pack. They've briefed the captains, who are, of course, the visiting captain, Georgia Adams from Southern Vipers, and South East Stars captain, Bryony Smith. I think, Bryony, you have the coin, is that right? Georgia calls tails, and it is a heads. We're going to talk to Georgia first. And I've just overheard there that South East Stars won the toss and are going to have a bowl. But we're just going to speak to Georgia first. Georgia, how would you assess the start to your Charlotte Edwards Cup campaign?
Mixed so far. We've had some really competitive games of cricket, and I think obviously to win 2, lose 2 is pretty steady, really. I think the 2 that we did lose, we would have liked to be on the winning side. They were close games, and a few things just went wrong towards the back end. But we competed in both, so pretty happy.
And obviously there'll be lots of South East Stars fans today, but I know wherever you go you get some Vipers fans as well. For those who might not know your squad so well, first of all, tell us any changes from your previous match, and secondly, who should people be looking out for as star performers?
Yeah, so unfortunately Freya Kemp is out, and we've got Ella McGaham back in, which is great. And then I think, superstars to look out for. It's hard to pick, but Charlie Knott, obviously over from Australia, has been a hugely talented player from over there at the top for us. And then we've got a nice mix of experience and some young guns like Mary Taylor hitting her straps.
Very humble, not to mention yourself, Georgia. But we obviously heard that Bryony is going to have a bowl first. What about you? What would you have done if you had won the toss?
Yeah, pretty happy. We wanted to bat first, so yeah, it's always the way. It's pretty mixed in T20. It's more team preference rather than based on the pitch.
Well, best of luck today, and I hope you enjoy the sunshine and being here at the Kia Oval. We'll head over to Bryony, the South East Stars captain. I made a terrible mistake in forgetting you two. We have, of course, got our mascots here. We've got Laith. Where's Laith? That's Laith and Zidane. Welcome very much. Are you excited about today's games?
Yes.
You've got your Surrey shirts on, which is great, but are you also looking forward to supporting South East Stars as well?
Yes.
Fantastic. Well, have a lovely day with us, and thanks for your help at the toss. Bryony, thank you for your patience as we go down the line. You've won the toss. You're going to have a bowl. Going to chase. What's your thinking there?
We always know it's going to be a good pitch here, and we back ourselves to chase any score, really.
You had an amazing game up at Durham, mainly because of one teenage performance, four wickets and 4 balls. We spoke to Steve about that a moment ago. Your thoughts on that, but also just on the team performance so far. Top of the table, 3 wins from 4, and looking pretty good in the 4th game, which would have been potentially a win if the weather hadn't intervened.
Yeah, we're going really well. We're really comfortable with how we're playing at the moment, and then obviously someone like Tilly coming in at 16 and slotting right into the team has been fantastic. But yeah, we're backing ourselves to put in a good performance today.
And any changes from Durham?
Yeah, so unfortunately Tash Farrant is injured, so Alexa Stonehouse is coming in.
And before I let you go, we do have to, of course, mention that you made history this week by becoming the first ever full-time women's county cricket professional. You will, of course, be captaining Surrey in the women's domestic game next year. How big a moment for you is that?
Yeah, it's really special. Obviously, being at the club since I was a little 9-year-old, to say I'm a professional cricketer for Surrey is really special, and I can't wait to get going, but we've got a job to do with the Stars first.
And playing some more cricket here at the Kia Oval, a special place, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's, well, in my opinion, it's the best ground in the world. So, yeah, we're super excited to get going.
Well, let's hope things go well for you today here, and thank you very much for your time, Bryony. So there we go, a word from the 2 captains, and the news from the middle is that South East Stars have won the toss and will bowl.
Sam, thanks very much indeed. Just a reminder then, the Stars taking on the Vipers. We're going to get underway in just under 5 minutes' time. We're at the home of Surrey. The women, of course, turning professional in 2025. And Bryony Smith has become the first player to sign on the dotted lines, which is brilliant news, Michael McCann.
Yeah, it certainly will be a slightly new look of things. Of course, 8 regions sort of morphing, if you want to put it one way or another, into 8 counties to swiftly become 9 the year after, and then 10 the year after that, with Yorkshire and Glamorgan joining on. Of course, the overwhelming majority of the South East Stars squad are already on fully professional contracts, but there will be a lot of hard work behind the scenes here to make that transition from the South East Stars to Surrey as smooth as possible. I know one director of cricket at another region was just chatting to me the other day about how they're effectively trying to make it as simple as being able to take one playing shirt off and put another one on. But there is a huge amount of logistical and structural work that goes on behind the scenes to make that happen. We're, of course, not too far from this one getting underway. A reminder of the format as well, because it is a slightly curious format, the Charlotte Edwards Cup. You've got 8 teams in it, but it's not a single or double round robin. It's sort of halfway between the two. There is 10 group games. You play 3 teams twice. You play 4 teams just once. So South East Stars are top after 4 games with 3 wins and a washout. They're above the Blaze on net run rate, 16 points from 4 games for both of them. The Southern Vipers in something of a mid-table pack with 2 wins and 2 losses so far, 8 points from 4 for them. You need to finish in the top 4 to get into the knockout stages. First plays 4th and second plays 3rd, and then of course the final to follow.
Well, the teams are going to be out very, very shortly, and the live action will begin. This, of course, a double-header, Surrey against Somerset to come. Michael, let's have a look at the 2 teams.
Absolutely. Plenty of quality on show today from both of these sides. The Vipers, a team with so much experience of winning so many trophies over the years, but the South East Stars, a side that are feared around the country for what they're building. There's 2 changes today. Alexis Stonehouse comes in, as does Alice Davison-Richards from the side that won by 6 wickets with plenty of time to spare. 24 balls to be precise in victory at Chester Street on Monday when facing the Northern Diamonds. There is 1 alteration to the Southern Vipers side from the team that won by 28 runs against the Western Storm in Southampton. Back on May the 30th, Ella McCacken comes in and Freya Kemp makes way. They'll be led by Georgia Adams, who so often has ultimately ended up lifting the trophy. Of course, the Southern Vipers domestic double winners last season, and that was a 5th trophy in 4 seasons. They have 6 trophies across 8 going further back. Comfortably the most successful regional side in English women's domestic cricket. The South East Stars very much looking to put another marker in the sand, having already beaten them in their opening Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy. Came back on the 20th of April. It was alluded to in our pre-match build-up. Stars winning a bit of a thriller by 4 wickets, chasing 273 with 3 balls left. And a figure with ball in hand who relatively few would have necessarily known at the start of the summer, but when Charlotte Edwards said, "I'll have you in my 100 squad," a few people sat up and took notice, and then when she took 4 wickets in 4 balls, with a break of an over in between, earlier this week, even more people did. Tilly Courtine-Coleman, the 16-year-old, with her left arm tweakers. It only took a net of half an hour or so for Charlotte Edwards to see her and decide that she was going to have her as part of the Southern Brave side, and that was the point where the Southern Stars thought, you know what, she could be pretty handy for us this season too. And it is Courtine-Coleman to bowl the very first ball of the match, which is worked her way out to deep mid-wicket. 5-4 field, relatively conventional field here. Not getting off the mark with that tickle round the corner. Not out there with the thoroughly experienced Georgia Elwes, who was in good form earlier on this week for the Vipers with 45 off 35. Elwes facing up to the talented teenager. Swept round the corner, she sweeps well, Elwes against spin, and shows it there, 4 runs. First boundary of the game, a little bit too full, and just straying onto the pads from the 16-year-old.
Too straight, wasn't it, the delivery, and you know that it's always going to race away a fast outfield here. The playing surface always fantastic, and decent crowd in place. Nice and early for the double-header. Always good to be able to get 2 games of cricket in. We're really looking forward to both spectacles.
Courtine-Coleman again, better length, just push to mid-on. Davison-Richards does the fielding. Pitching the bet slightly with this field, the Stars. 5-4 with deep cover and a deep mid-wicket. Short boundaries, the straight boundaries are looking invitingly short. That is a nice looking straight shot from Elwes, but Won't get any reward for it. Georgia Elwes, a key regular part of this Vipers side that's so often dominated regional cricket. Get 1 there. 6 without loss.
You mentioned about the weather, and it is absolutely tip-top. You look all around, you can see plenty of blue skies, 1 or 2 clouds overhead, but it really is such a fantastic spectacle, this, and lovely to see people across the ages.
Coleman again, trying to make room and go through that offside. Couldn't really do so, not. So a dot to end the first over, which is tidy enough bar that swept 4 from Elwes, 6 without loss.
Yeah, decent start. I think that as she takes her cap, she'll be pretty pleased with the way she's begun. Tilly Courtine-Coleman, still only a very young teenager. It's remarkable. You talked about the meteoric rise that she's been able to make so early in her career, getting the opportunity to play here at such an iconic venue. You've got the Archbishop Tennyson School away to our right-hand side. It really is a wonderful facility, this, here at the Oval. And we're delighted to be able to bring you the live stream.
Turns 17 later this summer on August the 23rd, born in 2007, Tilly Courtine-Coleman. I'm sure plenty of us can remember exactly where we were in August 2007. Now, on from our end of the ground to try and keep the pressure on for Stars is Alexa Stonehouse. She's been in good form with the ball this season. Into the pads, drifting down leg. A traditional left arm over in the sense that predominantly will get swinged back into the right-hander. And has got cross seamer, one that holds and just goes on. There is a slip in place for that one. That again is good from Stonehouse. Signs of early movement for Alexa Stonehouse out there.
Yep, she's certainly getting it to nip around, and that's encouraging to see. She's bowling a good length as well. As you say, Alice Davidson-Richards positioned at slip. And no surprise, the fielders on the money so far, all wanting to play a prominent part in this game early on.
Just nibbled straight to short mid-wicket. Enthusiastically fielded by Phoebe Franklin, who we'll see later on with the ball. Reminder as well that this is one of 3 games today. Northern Diamonds versus Sunrisers at Northampton got underway earlier on. Sunrisers need 80 to win off 10.2 overs with 9 wickets in hand. Sunway didn't really get it cleanly. It's half stopped at short fine leg. Big chase for deep square leg coming round. That'll be a quickly scampered but well judged 2 for Elwes.
Yeah, the Sunrisers have been a little bit slow and circumspect, haven't they, so far? But with Grace Scrivens at the crease still, they've got every chance.
Diamonds posting 123 for 8 in that one. Holly Armitage, an ever-dependable skipper, top scoring with 39. A couple of wickets for Nicola Hancock and Maddie Villiers. The toss from Stonehouse. She's got away with it somewhat. Could be a run out. Alice Davidson-Richards fancied her chances. We are very much right behind the bowler's arm, so he didn't have the best view, but a direct hit would have been tight there. Good pressure this from Stonehouse. Conceded just 3 from 5 in this over.
Well, Davidson-Richards does have a good aim, very good fielder, and you could see she knew had she hit it would have been a run out. She was that confident. In fairness to Rose Dovey, she got into a good position.
Rose Dovey standing, James Treadwell at square leg, your umpires today. Beautifully bowled from Stonehouse, tempting a bit of a heave from Knott, just shaping it across the right-hander. Knott slightly fortuitously gets it just wide of the fielder at point and gets a single. Cheers and applause of appreciation for a very good over from young Alexa Stonehouse. I mean, she's positively old compared to Tilly Courtine-Coleman. And that is the end of the second over. 10 without loss. Stonehouse conceding just 4 after Courtine-Coleman had 6. Stonehouse 19 was a big part of that England under-19 World Cup side that went on a heck of a journey last year.
Yeah, 3 dots to start from Stonehouse, which was pleasing to see. Phoebe Franklin's going to have a bowl.
That's the classic slip one over in at the top of the spinner and then go to seam. Franklin, typically dependable medium pace wicket to wicket with good variations. And the commentator's curse starts with an uncharacteristic wide. Franklin, who is best this season with the ball of 3 for 49 against the Diamonds in the 50 over format. It's right on the button from Franklin. Circumspect from Knott. Just pushes that up to mid-on. So Sunrisers in that game 47 for 2 at halfway, and as we were mentioning, they're going a little bit slower than they might like, have left themselves something of an uphill climb. And then later on at 4 p.m, Manchester Thunder will face the Blaze. It's a double header up there too. Straight at short mid-wicket and gone. A first wicket for the Stars. A really good sharp catch from Alice Davidson-Richards, and it needed to be. Franklin gets the breakthrough. Charlie Knott has to go for just 2, 11 for 1.
And that's a huge wicket, it really is, because we know how experienced, we know how good Knott is to pick up that wicket in the power play and send her back with the score on 11. Let's have another look at it, just into the pads, and it's hit to straight mid-wicket, hit with great force. It was a wonderful catch from Davidson-Richards. This might give us a better angle.
Yeah, it was straight into the breadbasket. It was straight at her, but it was very firmly struck. So an early breakthrough, and to the crease comes the one change for the Vipers from the side that won against Western Storm by 28 runs just a few days ago. Another player who can be very dangerous when she gets going with the bat, Ellen McCacken. Slow ball, just guided to short third. Good fielding in there from Gregory. He will be very useful with the ball. One would imagine the Stars will use that in the middle overs.
Yeah, Eilish Cranstone just helping out Danny Gregory there, and those two field close to each other. They've got that good working relationship.
Still a 5-4 field, as it has been throughout so far. Gentle outswinger. Just guided by Elwes to deep cover for 1. 14 for 1.
With the width on offer, you felt that she would look to try and work it out towards that deep cover boundary, where it's being well marshalled, of course, by a player who's been going so well for the Stars this season. We heard from her pre-match, Sophia Dunkley.
Nice looking straight drive, but won't get any reward for it. Wasn't hit with too much venom.
Lots of people watching on, dotted all around this famous ground, and you can see the big screen away to our right-hand side showing that it's just turned half-1, and it's been a dream start for the Stars.
Out to deep mid-wicket. Just another single, so relatively circumspect from Elwes and the Vipers so far, and that's because of excellent bowling and fielding from the South East Stars. They have enjoyed this blueprint in both Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy and Charlotte Edwards Cup action this season, and most of the time winning the toss, choosing to bowl and restricting well and then setting up a chase, and the early signs of it's working for them again. 14 for 1 off 3.
Yeah, sometimes you need a formula. You need to make sure that you've got a plan of action, and the Stars have certainly got that under Bryony Smith. If you haven't seen the news, some excellent news from the home of Surrey, which is where we are today. The women turning professional next year, and Bryony Smith has put pen to paper to become the first player to do just that.
Stonehouse continuing. A little bit of shape back in. Well judged single, nothing Cranston could do about it. You would imagine, not that yours truly is necessarily privy to any private information, that much like a lot of these 8 regions to 8 counties transition, we'll look to keep the vast majority of this South East Stars squad together. Full from Stonehouse and almost chopped on by Elwes. Off the inside of the bat. Again, Stonehouse getting nice shape back into the right-hander.
Yeah, I think that's probably likely to be the case, and you would always want the captain to lead, especially as Bryony's been with the club from such tender years. Always great to have somebody embedded within the Surrey structure.
Shorter, just worked way out to deep third. Another single, so still no boundaries aside from that swept 4 in the first over from Elwes against Courtine Coleman, which, given we're in the power play, is quite a feat from the Stars in terms of keeping a lid on things. Smashed away. This could be a boundary, but hasn't quite been fully timed. Big chase for deep square leg coming round. I'll get to with relative simplicity. Just from looking out there visually, the square boundaries are significantly longer than the straight boundaries today, but anyone who's been at the Oval will know before that pretty much all of that area is practice pitches, so the ball can really zoom across it, particularly if you hit it hard along the carpet. Straight boundaries are slightly shorter and more inviting. Full. Mistimed by McCacken, who was looking to get this more over the head of extra cover. Trying to go over that offside ring. Instead it's down to deep third for another single, so the pressure right on here.
McCacken looking to try and be positive since coming in. She's quickly moved on to 6. Elwes knows that she needs to have some time out there in the middle after the loss of Charlie Knott.
Shorter. Just into a pad by Elwes, who is 10 off 14 at the end of the 4th over. Stars will be very content with their work so far. 19 for 1.
Well, it has been a dream start. When you win the toss, you want to make sure that you restrict the opposing side, certainly in these power play overs. And let's not forget that the Vipers maybe haven't been fully firing, but they are such a dominant side in women's cricket over the years. So this is great from the South East Stars, and Bryony Smith fully vindicated in carrying on and asking Vipers to take first look at the wicket.
It's interesting having a chat with a director of cricket for one of the other 8 regions, not one of these 2. I'm not at liberty to say which region, but they actually said that they felt they feared the South East Stars lineup, particularly their explosive batting. As we start the 5th over with more tight, good bowling, a scampered single. It is a leg by. They're saying that you fear the Vipers based off their history, their trophy success, their consistency in that regard. 5 trophies in 4 seasons, winning a double last season, of course, and being 3 times Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy champions, twice Charlotte Edwards Cup winners. But in terms of the explosivity in their lineup, you fear the Stars. Straight at short mid-wicket. That will be another dot. This is real containment on a wicket that you would have to say there is a little bit of swing with the new ball, but the pitch itself doesn't look to have much variable bounce. It looks like a wicket that is playing slightly better than it might look in terms of the green tinge that's on it. Comes down the track this time to try and change the angle. It might well go for 4. It does. It escapes under Gregory, who couldn't do anything about it, coming round from a very fine deep third. And it is a first boundary since the one that was hit by Elwes on the sweep against Courtine Coleman in the very first over. So first boundary in 4 overs.
And the first chance to hear a little bit of music, because we've just not heard it, because there has been a dearth of boundaries. But Elwes certainly making sure that she needs to be an aggressor like McCacken at the other end.
Been looking for the reply, and it's a good reply, well fielded by Cranstone, albeit I say reply, it was very much the bowler's moral victory, as that replay showed. They found the edge of Elwes's bat. That other boundary, the only other boundary off the bat in the innings so far, came with the second ball of the match. So they've had that spell of 25 balls without a boundary until that one from Elwes a couple of balls ago. Gets funky this time, it gets it over short fine leg and for 4. That's a really clever shot by Ella McCacken. moved into position early, won the battle of wits with Rhiannon McDonald-Gay.
Just shuffling across her stumps, opening up the leg side, and it was very, very clever. She knew that once it went over the fielder's head, there's a chance just to see it again. Plenty of elevation, and always likely to run away to the boundary's edge as it did, and takes the score on to 29 for 1. The Stars still the happier of these two teams, you would say, though.
Answer, swipe and a miss from McCacken. Good shot, Bouncer, from McDonald-Gay. So end of the 5th over, 29 for 1. And a very young South East Stars bowling attack is an excellent job for them so far. I say very young because, of course, Courtney Coleman's 16, Stonehouse is 19. McDonald-Gay is positively a pensioner compared to those two, having turned 20 in February. And I'm not sure quite what that makes Phoebe Franklin, who is still not exactly old at all at 26.
Is Stonehouse to start this 6th over, bowling from the Vauxhall end. A couple of quick steps down the track. They're going to race through for a single. Davidson Richards thought about taking aim, did take aim, but the batter was comfortably through. Good running from Elwish. She knew that she was coming to the danger end. And moves on to 16. It brings McCacken back onto strike. 4 bowlers used so far. Stonehouse into her 3rd over, and on the way once more with a little bit of width and straight into the arms. There is another wicket. And I tell you what, you can see the frustration etched across the face of McCacken. All that matters none, because it's a very, very good take. I think McDonald-Gay might have possibly taken the catch. We'll await to see confirmation of that. But the news that matters is that McCacken's stay is at an end. 10 from 9. It's a wicket for Stonehouse. Caught cover.
Quite similar to the first wicket in the sense that it's a shot that has been timed pretty well. It's come out of the meat of the blade, but the batter hasn't quite committed to looking to go up and over that inner ring or hit it hard and down, and in the end has presented a chest-height catch.
Just confirmation, it was McDonald-Gay, as we thought, who took the catch, and it means that there's now a big partnership out there in the middle, because Elwis is going to be joined by the skipper. And it's a big, big opportunity now for Georgia Adams to hopefully put her stamp on this game. And there's work to do, Michael.
It certainly is for Vipers, but these are two of their most experienced and impressive players. If anyone can rebuild, it's this pair. Georgia Adams, so often so impressive for so long as the leader of this Vipers side.
The first wicket for Stonehouse, 1 for 10 through 3 overs. She's on her way once more, and bowling to Adams, who just covers up and pushes out to the eager fielders. McDonald-Gay again firmly on the money, racing in, and you can see that it matters so much to the Stars. They want to put on a performance here at the Oval. We've got Surrey against Somerset to come. This one races past the outside edge. And through it goes to the wicketkeeper, Chloe Hill.
Well, one of the first things teams talk about is winning the power play. And right now, you would have to say that the South East Stars are doing that.
Indeed, running along at just under 5.5 and over. Elwis ticking along nicely. 16 from 17, but those 2 big wickets has given the Stars advantage. This will be a wide. There will be the opportunity just to bowl it again for Stonehouse. Rose Dovey just extending the arms.
Pitch does have a green tinge on it that you will have seen watching on the stream, but I can't say it's overly misbehaved so far.
Stonehouse again at the top of her mark, comes racing in past the umpire and just opening up the offside very elegantly and picking up a boundary. Arguably the best shot of the innings so far. Adams quickly finds her feet out there in the middle and picks up a boundary. 35 for 2.
Lovely shot from Georgia Adams. It's part of the ground that she's very good at. Square of the wicket on the offside, both guiding off the back foot, forcing off the front foot. Nothing that Cranstone could do.
No.
If Georgia Adams gets in here, that's a serious problem for the South East Stars.
Cranstone, one of the best in the business, but nowhere near that. It was just hit with great force and almost like a carbon copy. This might run away to the boundary's edge, and it has. And suddenly, Georgia Adams outlining that she means business here. Moving on to 8, it means that is the end of the over. Alexa Stonehouse takes her cap. And the Southern Vipers suddenly finding a little bit of rhythm with those back-to-back boundaries.
Well, exactly as I just mentioned, it is an area of strength for Georgia Adams. It's a little bit too full and too wide. Was quick to take advantage of what was on offer. Adams, who was talking to Polly Starkey from the Naughty Child podcast, spelled Noughtie, about her journey, saying you can look back and say, well, actually, I might not have played for England, but I absolutely love playing for the Vipers, making a difference and lifting trophies. I've loved taking on the captaincy and learning from Charlotte Edwards. She's been a phenomenal mentor.
6 gone, end of the power play overs. 39 for 2 is the score. Franklin on the charge once more, approaching the wicket and just opening it up leg side and picking up a single is Elwes. She moves off strike and brings Adams back on, who's ticking along very nicely. 8 from 4, including those 2 back-to-back boundaries. Franklin just wanting a small change in the field. Dunkley moving slightly squarer out there on the deep cover boundary. Relatively gentle approach from Phoebe Franklin. She runs past James Treadwell. And again, played out to the leg side and picking up a single is Adams. These two will just keep it ticking. They know that they've got all the experience required. So we just have a little look at the dugout. They'll feel a bit happier now. Some of those batters getting ready to come in, and those that have maybe departed after those 2 quick boundaries. 41 for 2 is the score as Franklin runs up again and bowls one onto the pads of Elwes, who works it out to straight mid-wicket, and again they just rotate the strike.
Yeah, from here, they went at this rate all the way through, you're ending up with 130. You'd think they'd want a lot more than that.
Yeah, you do very well to defend that score. The run rate just shy of 6.5 and over. The thoughts of a single there, it certainly wasn't on until he caught Ian Coleman, the young 16-year-old, on the money there. A short fine leg. 42 for 2 is the score. The South East Stars, remember, with 3 wins out of 4. Electing to bowl first here, Bryony Smith wanting Vipers to have first use of the wicket. Smith found some form, top scoring with an unbeaten 57 with that win over the Northern Diamonds. This one is worked out to Sophia Dunkley. Dunkley will restrict it to 1 and throw it into the wicket-keeper Chloe Hill.
Yeah, with that 10-game format, 8 teams play 3 twice, everybody else once. You probably need 6 wins from 10 to make that top 4.
Franklin runs up again, bowls onto the pads of Elwes. Out it goes to Danny Gregory. They take another single, and that is the end of the over. 43 for 2, 44 for 2 with the additional, and that's 7 gone.
So right now going at just over a run a ball, the Southern Vipers. If you win 7 of your 10 Charlotte Edwards Cup games, you would think that some kind of extremely improbable scenario guarantees you a top 4 spot. South East Stars thus far have got 3 wins and a washout. Blaze have won all 4 of their games. Sparks with 3 wins from 5 in 3rd. Thunder and Vipers in 4th and 5th, split by just a point. Remember, you get 4 points for a win. You can pick up a bonus point if you thrash your opponent such that your run rate in the match is 1.25 times better than them.
We opened up with spin at the pavilion end. We're now going to see some Danny Gregory here, who's going to mix it up. She's bowling at this Vauxhall end, and underway is Elwes with a single. Racing in from the boundary's edge. She's straight down here at long on. Davidson-Richards, she's got that very powerful arm. Bryony Smith building on the other side at mid-off. 45 for 2, 5 away from the half century. Here's Gregory again, leg side. Bit of bat on that. It's going to go down to short fine leg, and they take one. She's got away with one there, you have to say, because it would have been a wide, make no doubt about that. Rose Dovey is our umpire at this Vauxhall end. Starting to fill up in the Mickey Stewart Members Pavilion. Stewart name synonymous with Surrey County Cricket Club as Gregory continues again into the pads of Elwes, who worked it out backward a square on the leg side, and they take another. She's ticking along nicely on 21. Adams back onto strike, has 11.
Elwes is someone who's so experienced at piecing an innings together, building it.
Just looking to try and milk Gregory at the moment. 3 singles so far, but a little bit of indecision. They ask the question, racing through and just missing the sticks, so they do get through for the single. But there really was a little bit of indecision there. You could see the reaction of Cranstone. She knew that had she hit, it would have been all questions to ask for Georgia Adams, and she'd almost certainly have been run out.
It's just a moment of confusion where Adams hadn't quite understood where the ball was.
Indecision in the ranks. There's going to be another single here. Shying for the stumps is Chloe Hill, and again just wide, and it would have been Adams again because she was going to the danger end once more. I think the single was very, very tight there. One away from the 50, and again we'll just get the chance to have another look.
Yeah, probably turning too much, a few too many factors against the LBW appeal, but slightly dicey pair of leg buys.
1 to go in the over. 49 for 2 is the score. Here is Danny Gregory to complete the set, and this is all off the bottom hand, and she's going to pick up 4 runs and bring up the half century. So 8 overs gone, 53 for 2. Sam's got the best seat in the house.
I'm here in Kia Best Seat. I'm here in the Kia Best Seat in the house. Today it's just me. Ordinarily, though, a lucky group of fans get to sit in here, have food brought to them, enjoy some drinks from the fridge. Later on today, we have a special guest in here who I'm looking forward to meeting. But if you want to find out more about how you could enjoy watching the cricket from the Kia Best Seat in the house, visit the Surrey website. Cheers.
Very nice. Sam is just going to enjoy a Coke there. I wouldn't mind one of those myself. 53 for 2 is the score. There are plenty of other soft drinks available. We're at the Kia Oval. We're thoroughly enjoying it. And those best seats in the house could be yours. You can get involved via the social media channels. 53 for 2 is the score.
Alice Davidson-Richards' time.
And we are going to see some ADR. She, of course, started her career a stone's throw away from the Neville ground in Tunbridge Wells. A native of that part of the world, and 53 for 2 is the score. She bowls that heavy ball, comes charging in and starts with a wide, just straying down the leg side. James Treadwell extending the arms. She'll get the opportunity just to bowl it again. 54 for 2 is the score. Gregory going for 7 from her first over. Elwes ticking on 21 and on strike this time. She just works the ball into the covers, picks up another single, and Adams will come back onto strike. She's seen the ball very nicely, the skipper. She'll realise there's work to do when you lose the experienced head of Charlie Knott so early in the piece, and then Ella McCacken, who started quite positively as well, both back in the hutch. 2 wickets down. There's a bit of rebuilding to do. Again, another wide, trying to bowl 2 straight.
You're watching one of the best in action in ADR for short. Described by Polly Starkey, Women's Cricket Journalist, as an infectiously positive character, the owner of the widest smile in cricket and the first name on the South East Stars team sheet for the last 4 years.
Charging in once more past the umpire, and again bowling straight, and it's going to dissect those two fielders and race away to the boundary's edge. A ripple of applause, and suddenly you just fear that the Vipers are starting to move through the gears. Adams on to 19, now is keeping her good company. The run rate pushes over 7 runs and over. Now 60 for 2.
Yeah, it's an experienced, impressive pair of batters, and by Davidson Richards' standards, it's a poor ball in truth, and it's put away very nicely.
A straight, deep mid-wicket in position. And that's again another wide. She's just struggling to find her line here, Davidson Richards. 3 wides in the over. We just hear the sirens racing down Harleyford Road.
To sum up her all-round excellence, as Polly Starkey puts it, good enough as a batter to have scored a Test century, and good enough as a bowler to have taken over 100 List A wickets at an average of under 25.
So the Kia Oval is a befitting venue for somebody of Davidson Richards' quality, and this could be a chance to take a catch, and what a fine catch it is. Just backward a square on the leg side, and Alexa Stonehouse has pulled out an absolutely blinding catch. Diving forward, making sure that she had to get those hands under the ball, and that is a big, big wicket, because it is the dismissal of the skipper, Adams. She doesn't want to go, but she's got to. Sent back for 19, a big, big scalp for Davidson Richards.
So there's 2 things here from Stonehouse. It's firstly actually having the athleticism to get there, dive forward, and get it in 2 hands, but then it's making sure that the classic of the elbows hitting the ground, the ball doesn't come out, holds it particularly on the bottom of her left hand. She's actually just chatting with Franklin now about how exactly she's done that. That's a really special bit of work, and that's the kind of thing that can really change the complexion of a game, particularly when you're getting rid of Georgia Adams.
3 sharp catches so far. Nancy Harmon coming out to the middle, and that is a big, big scalp, a big, big wicket. And you can see Davidson Richards delighted by that. Michael mentioned about that big smile. Well, it was fully evident as that one was pouched, and pouched very, very nicely by Alexa Stonehouse. Those two, the 2 changes, ADR and Stonehouse coming in for the Stars. 61 for 3 is the score. And here's Davidson Richards charging in again, opening it up and working it down to third. Will it run to the boundary's edge? It will. So Harmon getting underway with a boundary. This, of course, a very long, elongated over. We've only seen 4 balls. Well, we've seen more than that, but only 4 balls that are good ones with those 3 wides. Just opening the face up here, and it raced away from Danny Gregory. A fast outfield here at the Oval. More music, more sound, and the run rate moves on to 7.5 and over.
Yeah, it's been a very eventful over.
Really has.
All been happening.
Yep. 2 to go still. 65 for 3. Here is Davidson Richards. Gentle approach, got that strong shoulder. Treadwell thought about possibly discussing it. He does have a little word and notes that it was a short one there. 1 for the over. Just speaks to Davidson Richards as she makes her way back. Harmon just assesses the scene as she looks all around, and Davidson Richards will hope to complete the set here. 65 for 3 it is, and that's how it will remain. Just pushing back down the track is Harmon. So after that explosive start with the boundary, a couple of dots thereafter, 9 gone, 65 for 3.
Let's have a look at that Georgia Adams wicket again. Short, and when it comes off Adams's bat, you wouldn't blame her for thinking that's runs. And instead it is magnificently caught by Alexa Stonehouse. Just watch the catching technique here. Gets both hands underneath it, but then knows that the impact of her elbows on the ground mean that the ball is about to jump out. Clasps it underneath, clasps the left hand underneath it and holds the catch. That's a really special bit of fielding. Speaking of special, here's Danny Gregory on again.
Yep, very talented. And there's another wicket right on cue. Danny Gregory sends one through to Elwes, and she's been bowled. She's misread the flight. misread the direction, and that is a massive, massive wicket. Elwes, the opener, has looked good, but she's sent on her way back. Bowled by Gregory for 22. The advantage going the way of the Stars. 65 for 4.
Well, Elwes was just trying to be the player that Vipers could bat around, but she's deceived by Gregory here, who rightly is absolutely jubilant. This is exactly what you want to see as a leg spinner. There's dip on that. I think it might actually be the dip as much as the turn that does for Elwes. She's just held it back. Elwes was through at a touch early. And now Emily Windsor, who so often has played really important finishers roles, often in the middle order for Vipers, has to come out and complete the rebuilding job. She's very, very comfortable both out in the middle and very impressively on the microphone. You know, building commentary and analytical career off the field. On it has a very good tendency to produce runs when needed most. Hit the winning runs for them. Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy final last season.
Gregory to continue and just pushing the batter back. Windsor needs to do that talking out in the middle now, because there is a huge amount of work to do to new batters. We're getting towards the halfway point of this innings. There's still plenty of batting to come, make no doubt about that. But if these bowlers can start to turn the screw, it's going to put the Stars into a real dominant position. Down the track goes Windsor, off the mark. Davidson Richards just takes all the pace off that throw. Into the arms it goes of Gregory.
Yeah, just bowling with a classic field here. Gregory, short fine leg and then 3 out on the leg side. Deep cover and then 4 in on the off.
4 big wickets have been picked up so far. 66 for 4 is the score, as we hear a plane just fly overhead, just wrapping into the pads here of Harman. And again, Danny Gregory showing that she can do anything all of the other fielders can do as well. We've of course seen that wicket. We've also seen 3 excellent catches from Davidson Richards, McDonald Gay and Stonehouse. 4 dangerous batters back in the pavilion as Gregory gets ready to continue. She's only gone for 1 so far and picked up a wicket, of course. This one slightly uppish. Down the ground it goes. And it's going to be another single. Windsor, 1 from 2, comes back on to strike. Harman running along at a runner ball as well. Rose Dovey and James Treadwell are 2 on-field umpires. Helen Pack is the match referee. 67 for 4 is the score as Gregory bowls outside off stump. A stumping opportunity and taken very nicely by Chloe Hill. What a great bit of work that was behind the sticks. And Windsor is sent on her way back. She's been stumped and Gregory continues this stranglehold. 67 for 5.
Wow. What an over from Danny Gregory. 2 wickets in it. Smart keeping, smart fly. Wasn't really the ball to come down the track to. Much like Elwes, I would suggest it's the dip of Gregory that has actually deceived Windsor more so necessarily than the turn. Thought the ball was fuller than it actually was. So Monaghan joins Harman with the Vipers in all sorts of trouble.
And we're at the halfway point, Michael. 67 for 5, a strong advantage to the Stars. It was a good toss to win.
Certainly was it a good toss to win. It is, of course, always about what you do with it. Sun is out, and I'm reliably informed that there's also nearly 4,000 in the ground so far, which is absolutely magnificent. Let's take a look at those 2 wickets from Danny Gregory, who was truly affectionately is nicknamed the Braided Wonder for her brilliant leg spin, and she showed it again today. Good stuff from Hill behind the stumps, no doubt about the stumping. It was a long way from home. Windsor gone for just 1, so 3 wickets in 9 balls. Courtine Coleman back. That's just pushed away. Remember that Courtine Coleman's only actually bowled 1 over, so she's got 3 up her sleeve. This is the luxury that the Stars have with so many all-rounders in their ranks. Courtine Coleman's got 3 left. 1 left for Stonehouse. Franklin has a couple. You would imagine Gregory will bowl that. She's got 2 left. It's again right on the spot from Courtine Coleman. They will eventually get one. Gets just past her. Remember, of course, in terms of women's cricket here at the Kia Oval this summer, there's women's IT20, England versus New Zealand here on July the 13th, a 6 p.m. start. Great to have the England women back at the Kia Oval. Oh, beautifully bowled by Courtine Coleman. Monaghan just pleased to have not got an edge on it. All the pressure on the Vipers right now. More teasing flight, just pushed away by Monaghan. Won't get off the mark there, though. As Monaghan, a long-time member of this so often so successful Vipers team. Again, though, can't get off the mark. Courtine Coleman putting the pressure right on. Stars with the best record across both formats so far this season, and again they're showing why here. It's just turned away. They might want two here. It is a long boundary. They're going to turn it down though. Last thing Vipers need at this stage is a run out. Of course, these sides will meet a couple of times more. End of the 11th over, 69 for 5. These two play for a second time in the Charlotte Edwards Cup group stage on the 19th of June 2024 at the First Central County Ground, when Vipers will have home advantage. And then they meet for a second time in 50-over cricket in the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy at Falcon CC. Vipers with home advantage, having lost against the Stars at Beckenham in a real thriller. The Stars chased 274 with just 3 balls left earlier on this season. It was one heck of a game. Gregory to continue, unsurprisingly so, of course. Still has 2 overs up her sleeve. Stepping across, covering her stumps and just turning that away for 1. Dunkley with the fielding.
And on the socials, Southeast Stars, SE Stars Cricket, we're saying that the Stars are on a roll, and they most certainly are. It's been a dream scenario so far in this doubleheader here at the Oval.
Nice teasing flight from Gregory, pushed straight back. I think she got a hand on it on the way through for a possible run-out chance at the bowler's end. Maybe she had, just judging by the reactions of Rose Darby and Gregory's skipper Bryony Smith at mid-on. I alluded to it a few moments ago. The Stars with the best record across both formats so far this season. 4 wins from 6 in the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy, and 3 wins plus a washout in this competition. To the pads of Harman. Gregory hunting a 3rd wicket. Quicker and flatter. Turned away to short mid-wicket for 1. Difficult for Harman and Monaghan here in terms of how you pace the rest of the innings, how you manage the rest of the innings. Not a simple dilemma at all. It's down the leg side, will have to be re-bowled, and they'll scamper through the single 2. There was thoughts for a moment about trying to get back to the striker's end from Monaghan. It would have been a bad idea.
Well, the Vipers need a partnership, and the talk out there will be to make sure that these two can get going and try and score off every ball, see where that takes them. But they need some boundaries. They need to up the scoring rate.
Run the ball from here, gets 1, 2, 3. Gregory appealing and given. A 3rd wicket for Gregory. Nancy Harmon has to go, and the Vipers continue to collapse. Have now lost 4 wickets for the addition of just 12 runs as their middle order mess continues. Magnificent stuff once again from Gregory, turning enough in the opinion of umpire Rose Darby to be hitting leg, possibly even leg and middle.
Well, the batter certainly got a good stride in, you would have to say that, but the umpire was certain. And Danny Gregory here is running amok. 3 for 13.
So here comes Rihanna Southby. Now, she will know this ground very well. Once upon a time with the Surrey Stars, once upon a time with the Oval Invincibles. Joined the Vipers in 2023 from the South East Stars. Has played for the Southern Brave more recently in 100 as well. She had a ground that she knows very well. She's going to try and inject something into the back end of this Vipers innings. We'll be going back to the best seats in the house after this ball as well, where Sam is with Claudie Cooper of the South East Star squad, as well as Oval Invincibles in Surrey. Gregory short, sounded good off the bat from Southby. I'll give her a bit of confidence. She's off the mark into the 12th, 74 for 6. Let's head to Sam and the best seats in the house.
I'm in the Kia best seat in the house here at the Kia Oval, and I'm with someone who's very well connected around these parts, so she's managed to wangle her way into the Kia best seat in the house. South East Stars player Claudie Cooper here with your entourage, Jacob, Holly and Maggie. How are you enjoying, first of all, being in here in the Kia best seat in the house?
Yeah, I'm absolutely loving it. The scenery is unbelievable, and I'm also not getting burned either in the sun, so yeah, no, it's good.
And unlimited drinks and some food being brought to you as well. Not a bad way to watch the cricket.
No, can't complain at all.
Just tell us about the match, what you've seen so far. Things going pretty well for the Stars.
Yeah, Stars have been unbelievable. The T20 stuff and the 50 over stuff, we've really shown everyone what we're about. I mean, the last year where we're playing as Stars, I think we've made a big impact with how we've been playing. So yeah, really happy with today as well.
Well, good luck for the rest of the season, and enjoy your day here in the Kia best seat in the house.
Amazing. Thanks so much. Thanks.
Courtine Coleman starting with a dot in the 13th. And cut straight to Cranstone at point, who fields in enthusiastically and make sure that there won't be one there for Southby. Good to hear from Claudie Cooper. There's an interview with her that you can catch on the South East Stars socials as well, talking about her cricketing journey. Oh, nearly chopped on. It's gone through the legs of Hill. It's nutmegged the keeper. And they'll get 2. Bit of a luck there for Southby. Moves on to 3. Claudie Cooper in that interview talking about a childhood club, Linfield CC, a sporting hero being Andrew Flintoff, studying criminology at university and being one of a number of plenty of women's cricketers in the pathways who's played a lot of hockey. That's turned away for 1. Worth saying you can keep up to date with all things South East Stars on @SE Stars Cricket. Well worth a look for that, and Claudie Cooper certainly someone to keep an eye on, the off spinner coming through the Stars and Surrey pathways. Speaking of coming through the pathways, 16-year-old Courtine Coleman's at it again, bowling very impressively here. She hasn't taken a wicket, but she's been as miserly as you could possibly ask for, really, in a T20.
Well, there's such strong competition for places, and that's what you want, certainly at the dominant sides. We're at the home of Surrey women, who of course turn professional next season. Bryony Smith has put pen to paper today.
Southby will keep the strike, so 13 overs gone. Vipers going at just a tickle over a runner ball, 79 for 6 off 13.
Yep, the story is all over the socials. You can, of course, keep up to date and find out what's happening via a variety of different means. The thing that matters today is trying to get 2 wins out of 2. Surrey against Somerset to come, but we're focused on this game between the South East Stars and Southern Vipers. 79 for 6 through 13.
Of course, Jamie Reid there alluding to the fact that it's Surrey versus Somerset later. For the South East Stars in the Charlotte Edwards Cup, this would be a 4th win to go with a washout as well. Very well positioned in the early mix of things. Gregory back to finish off. Pushed out for a well-judged single into the covers.
It's just been the dearth of boundaries that has hit the Vipers hard. You see the score there, 80 for 6 in the 14th.
They've hit 8 boundaries in 13 and a bit overs. That tells its own story. Nice flight again from Gregory. There is a real joy in watching a leg spinner with such good variations, dip and turn. It's one of the things that, particularly when you're new to cricket, is one of the great joys and skills that's such a difficult art to master. Just pushes that one through Gregory. Hill has to come and do the fielding. There's 3 deep set sweepers on the onside. That's good hustle from Hill to prevent what would otherwise have been a second.
Well, Gregory's bowled 21 balls so far and only gone for 17. Crucially, she's picked up those 3 wickets.
Shorter, and that has managed to pierce the gap between short third and point. So it is a rare boundary, a first boundary of the innings for Monaghan. Moves into double figures.
The Stars have been excellent in the field, but that one just perfectly dissecting the 2 fielders. Once it went past Cranstown, you were hoping that Stonehouse might be able to stop it. She wasn't able to do so, and it is a rare boundary in the context of this game.
Sweep sounded good off the bat, and it's pierced the 2 fielders almost perfectly, and I say almost because it's kept in thanks to a magnificent bit of tag team fielding out there. Dunkley with the throw after the initial stop from Franklin. Well, that for a moment had 4 written all over it, but zooming into shot was Phoebe Franklin, who made sure to get a hand off the ball before she made contact with the rope. Gregory pushes one through and completes an excellent spell. So Danny Gregory gets a warm ovation from this crowd at the Oval, which I'm already told is more than 4,000 strong. What a spell from the braided wonder. She has picked up 3 wickets to give any thought of Vipers acceleration a very slark counterpoint to it. Danny Gregory with 4 overs, no maidens, 3 for 23. 14 overs gone, 88 for 6. So realistically, Vipers probably fighting to see if they can get themselves 120 from here. Elsewhere, Sunrisers have won by 4 wickets on the final ball against the Northern Diamonds. Oh, Hill's fancying a chances of a stumping here. Darby at square leg says no. That's a big win for the Sunrisers, who chased down 124 to win. Almost hit the off stump as well. Really nicely bowled from Franklin. 64 not out from Grace Scrivens, taking the Sunrisers home. Half stop by Cranstown. There'll be 1. Quite the dramatic final over there in that game between the Sunrisers and the Diamonds. 3 of the last 4 balls in the match from Erin Burns, who previously twice this season has bowled match-winning death overs. Couldn't quite complete it there. Just turned away to short third, slightly dicey looking single, direct hit. Not quite, almost. Scamper through for 1. just about get there.
Well worth a name from Danny Gregory. We know how good she is in this regard, just taking the pace off that delivery.
It's a great quick release from Gregory. Cut away. Only be 1-2 deep cover. Just jumping back to that game. With 4 balls left, it was 10 to win off 4 for the Sunrisers against the Diamonds, and then it went 4.44. So Scrivens taking Sunrisers to victory in style. It's Thunder versus Blaze later on today. 4 p.m. start in Manchester. Nice flight, slower ball. Was there a nick on the way through? Hill was looking for stumping as well, doing that thing you see keepers do sometimes where they're up for multiple modes of dismissal. That's a great variation from Franklin. This slow ball was not picked at all. Was through it very early. Hill was eager behind the stumps, but the back foot was grounded. So that win is going to mean the Sunrisers have 2 wins from 5. The Northern Diamonds rock bottom, no wins from 5. 5 defeats. Short, tried to paddle. That's intelligent from Franklin. Saw Monaghan go down looking to ram. And took all of the pace off it. Kept it nice and short. So that over's gone for just 3. Denying the Vipers the acceleration that they crave. 91 for 6 off 15.
Indeed, 5 to go. Just a reminder that Southern Vipers 91 for 6. At the end of the 20 overs, we will bring you highlights of what's happened so far, and you have to say it's been absolutely superb from a Stars perspective, picking up those 6 wickets. They fielded nicely, they bowled nicely, and they've made sure they work as, or they're working as a team, which is pleasing to see. We are, of course, watching Charlotte Edwards Cup action. And it was the South East Stars and captain Bryony Smith who won the toss. The Vipers were asked to have first use of the wicket. We're just taking a break for drinks. You can see a little bit of chat as well. And that will be the talk out there that Monaghan and Southby need to really keep going here, because they've got so much work to do. Just 30 balls to go, Michael, and they've got to find some boundaries.
Well, if they can go a runner ball, that would get them 1-2-1. If they can go an 8 and over, which does feel like a little bit of a stretch right now, that would get them 131. That's the kind of region the Vipers will be eyeing off. They're a very tenacious bowling and fielding side who so many times in pressure situations over recent years in regional cricket have done the business.
Yep, they're certainly never beaten. Here's Dunkley coming into the attack, and on the pads here of batter Southby, who moves into double figures by just turning 1 round the corner. It's young Courtine Coleman who does the bowling, does the fielding rather.
Dunkley from our end, the Vauxhall end. She took 2 for 22 in the 50-over game between these two.
We had the opportunity to hear from her pre-match as well on the stream. This one shying for the stumps, and the wicket-keeper, it wasn't the best of throws in fairness. Strong Cranstone, it was difficult to try and shy for the stumps because it was so high, and it was probably good running from Southby, who was quickly through. Lots going on there. The sum total and the outcome is that a single has been added to the total. 93 for 6 the score moves on to. We're here at the Kia Oval, the home of Surrey County Cricket Club. Fantastic scenery we've got all around, lots of people watching. The rooftop bar flowing just to the left of the Mickey Stewart Members Pavilion as we look on from this Vauxhall end. We're in the Richie Benno commentary box. A name synonymous with cricket, he certainly knew how to call it.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better when you put it like that.
It really doesn't, does it? No, we feel immensely proud, both Michael and I. And watching some real stars, the South East Stars, going nicely here against the Vipers, who are 94 for 6. And up against it, Dunkley has gone for 3 singles from 4 so far. She's tied up Monaghan on that occasion. And here she is once more. Hit down the ground here. It could be a catching opportunity put down by Davidson Richards. We've not really seen many chances go to ground, but this one has. They didn't try and race through for the single. It was in, and then it was out. No smile, just frustration etched across the face. Not often we see that from ADR.
Yeah, very rare collector's item. Catch that for a fielder of her high quality you'd have expected to be taken. Just missed from that replay a dot to finish the over from Dunkley, who's conceded just 4 from it. So excellent from Sophia Dunkley. 16 overs gone, 95 for 6.
Dunkley does offer that. She can do the business with both bat and ball, and that's why they've got such great variety within these ranks. You look at some of the other options, Bryony Smith not really bowling herself, and shows that there is such talent. On a hand, 13 from 16, ticking along. Southby 11 from 14. Sophia Dunkley going for 4 in her first. 4 to go in the innings.
Well, it's almost easy to captain when you've got such a ridiculous number of all-rounders.
Yeah, it does make it easier. Rhiannon McDonald-Gay is bowling, and a single picked up, a shy for the stumps, but quickly racing through. Well worth an aim, but you're always thinking that the batter is going to get through there with the fielder set a bit deeper.
I mean, you look at this team: Stonehouse, Franklin, McDonald-Gay, Gregory, Davison, Richards, Dunkley, Courtine-Coleman. Those are the 7 bowlers that have been used. 5 of those you would put in the camp of being all-rounders.
Southby facing up here to McDonald-Gay, who's bowled a cutter, a slower ball, and it's been picked by the batter. They take 1, they want to come back for a second. It wasn't on, and the fielding has been very, very impressive. Franklin on this occasion, saving 1. When you set back on the boundary's edge like that, it's not always easy, but she was quickly on the money, making sure that she came racing in off the rope.
So 20 balls left. About 120 as Vipers would be wanting.
McDonald-Gay, no wicket for 11 so far. Only into her second over. Good bit of fielding here. There could be a run-out opportunity.
Oh.
And Hill couldn't quite take the bells off. I think the batter might well have been back anyway.
I think she might have scrambled back. Yeah, that's one of those moments that gets clipped up with people saying on social media a lot going on for a dot ball here. Throw from McDonald-Gay didn't have quite as much on it as she might have liked.
Monaghan wanted the single, it just wasn't there. You've got to be honest. I think Southby probably did well to send her back. 3 away from the century, this time driving down the ground. That's going to pick up at least 1, and they'll settle for 1 as the throw comes in, hitting the sticks again. Davison Richards, such a good fielder. She's racing from one end of the field to the other, which is some stretch in fairness.
Yep. Good stuff this from McDonald-Gay. Who's played hockey for the England under-19s, plays both sports at Loughborough Union, was part of the England under-19 squad when it comes to cricket in the 2023 World Cup, was an impressive all-rounder in that.
Lovely blue skies, as this time it's just going to race away. Is it going to be the young fielder Courtine-Coleman? She's done very nicely there just to restrict it and stop it going past her reaches. Gregory might well have been covering it up anyway. They take a single. And there's 1 to go in the over for McDonald-Gay, who just mops the sweat away. It is a lovely, glorious day, as we mentioned. A little bit of light wind. 99 for 6 is the score. Here's the 100 up at the end of the over. 17 gone. 100 for 6, the Vipers, after being put in.
So 3 overs left. From here, 10 and over would get the Vipers 130. Worth putting into context as well just how dominant the Vipers have been in this competition. Losing semi-finalists to the Diamonds in 2021 and 2022. Winners in the final against the Central Sparks. And then in 2023, they beat the Thunder in the Eliminator at Worcester at New Road, and then needed a reserve day due to a fair bit of rain around, in ultimately playing victory by 7 wickets with 34 balls to spare against the Blaze.
To start the 18th over, that races past the outside edge. They've been a bit mixed this season though, Michael, with 2 wins and 2 defeats in this comp.
They found it difficult without their star England internationals, which is understandable.
Dunkley again races up past the umpire. Plenty of bottom hand, working this one out to straight deep mid-wicket. They take 1.
Think of that win against the Thunder in the Eliminator. The tone was set by Maya Boucher, and Danny Wyatt up top. Wyatt, when she was available for the Vipers in this competition last season, was incredible.
101 for 6. Dunkley's gone for 1 from her 2 so far. This time using the top hand to guide it out to deep cover, and they take a single. Sam's really had good fun so far. He's in that Kia best seat in the house. We've had the opportunity to hear from Claudie Cooper. There'll be the chance to hear from others slightly later on in the piece. 101 for 6 the score as Dunkley continues, and this time going the other side of the wicket down to Davidson Richards, who almost needs a Boris bike. She's racing from one end to the other. Great dedication to the cause.
This reminds me of a clip I saw Kate Cross on her podcast talking about with Elise Perry.
Dunkley, plenty of elevation here. It's going to race away. It could be the first 6 of the innings, and it is. You could see as soon as Southby got that elevation that it would just race away, and that is a welcome maximum for the Vipers. They take the score on to 109 for 6.
Well, we've said all day that those shorter, straighter boundaries do look more inviting than the bigger, squarer ones. The problem for the Vipers, they've been losing so many wickets so regularly, they haven't really been able to target them successfully.
Dunkley to continue. She's thrown this one wide, and the umpire will extend those arms and signal that it will be needed to be bowled again by Dunkley. Here comes the final one of the over, going slightly wide of the crease, and they're going to pick up a single. They're going to race through. It's hit one of those wicket ends, makes it difficult. They might come back for a second here. Run out opportunity. The umpire unmoved. They're back for 2.
Yeah, the throw was actually quite an awkward one for Hill. The throw wasn't quite exactly where it would have needed to be. So that's actually a good over for the Vipers. The first 6 of the innings hit by Southby. They picked up 12 all told. If they could repeat that a couple of times, they'd end up with 136. They are, of course, the defending champions. Beat the Blaze comfortably in last season's final when Blaze managed just 114 for 8. Georgia Adams with 2 for 20. Charlie Dean taking 2 for 21, and Vipers chased it down, winning by 7 wickets handsomely with 34 balls to spare. Danny Wyatt with 28 ball 50, and Shrubsole with 2 for 24 in her farewell game.
Tilly Courtine-Coleman to bowl the penultimate over of the innings, and driving down the ground and picking up a single is Monaghan. She moves on to 19. Southby has been the aggressor in this partnership, but that run rate showing 6.22 runs per over. As Courtine-Coleman bowls again, an opportunity to possibly grab one. Would have possibly been drilled into the surface anyway. The sum outcome is another single. Lots of people coming out of the boxes just to watch on here at the Kia Oval. We've got that men's match later in the T20. Surrey against Somerset, that's to come. Driving down the ground again. They've certainly gone straight. You do get value for your runs down the ground. Southby picks up a single. Lots of people watching on and enjoying it. The sun's just dropped beneath a cloud, and I think that's probably a welcome relief for some of those spectators. 115 for 6 is the score. The bar's certainly been kept busy. Lots of people staying hydrated. The thoughts of a second quickly waved away, and I think that's a good decision. Southby went through for that first. Monaghan wanted to turn it to 2. It wasn't really on. Courtine-Coleman has gone for 4 singles so far from the 4 balls that she's bowled. 116 for 6 is the score. Just opening up the offside and going to that wide long off position and taking another single. They're happy with that, in fairness, the Stars at this stage of the innings. There's just 7 balls to go. 117 for 6 is the score. Here is Courtine-Coleman. Oh, she's a little bit unlucky there, just a little bottom edge. The umpire has signalled a wide here anyway. No ball, in fact. Apologies. No ball, just signalled.
Front foot no ball, which is
strange from a spinner.
Not ideal.
So the chance of a free hit here for the Vipers. 119 for 6 is the score. Courtine-Coleman, no wicket for 20, just about to complete her set. Driving the ball down the ground, and they'll take a single. That is the end of the over, so 120 for 6 is the score as Courtine-Coleman bowls out. 1 to go.
Yeah, great credit to this pair of Alice Monaghan and Rhianna Southby, because they came together at 73 for 6, and the partnership is now worth 47 in 37 balls, thanks to a bit of late acceleration here.
Yeah, it's a good partnership, but you have to think to yourself, that score does look light. I know you never know a game of cricket until you've seen both sides back.
In fact, I beg your pardon, my 6 times tables off for a second. 43 balls, 47 added of 43 balls, but it's still a very impressive stand to rebuild from the wreckage of 73 for 6.
Yeah, especially when it's batters 7 and 8 doing it. There's not really a batter out there who's set. Phoebe Franklin to continue, driving down the ground, and Franklin's right in behind it. A couple of quick steps to get to the pitch of the ball. Monaghan 22 from 28, Southby 25 from 22. If you have been moving in and around and not watching the whole of the stream, where have you been? We hope that you'll join us for the business part of this, the second innings, but we will have half-time highlights for you. She's got underneath this, and it's going to be a second 6 of the innings. The bottom hand coming through, and Monaghan moves on to 28 from 29. Plenty of elevation, and that's raced away to the boundary.
Partnership past 50. 53 added in 46 balls in just under half an hour or so. These two have changed the complexion of the game. Remember, both of them had barely made a score in this competition so far this season, but that's going to be 4 more. Cut away by Monaghan, so she's on to 30, and all of a sudden the Vipers have stolen the momentum in this contest. And Alice Monaghan, who coming into today in T20 cricket this season had scores of 0, 4 and 0 not out, and Southby, who in 2 innings have managed 7 and 1 not out, which of course it's not easy being in the lower middle order in the T20. Both of them with more time at the crease today to try and sort things out from 73 for 6. My goodness me, are they doing it?
That was too wide and put away with clinical precision. This time it's going to be another 6. Just opening up the leg side once more, and this is a great hand from Monaghan. We said they needed a big over, and this could be it. Franklin has gone for 14 from the last 3 with those consecutive boundaries. 2 6s and a 4, work to do, and that's why Bryony Smith has just gone across to have a little word.
Well, credit to Monaghan and Southby. This is now both players' highest score of the season for the Vipers in 50 over or T20 cricket.
And it could be match defining. 136 for 6 is the score again, opening up the offside, plenty of back speed and picking up another boundary. This is a great hand. It really is from Monaghan. She moves into the 40s, 42 from 32. And Franklin now has gone for 32. There's still 1 to go in the innings, but the Vipers fighting back.
Yeah, so this over's gone for 20 with 1 ball left. The previous 2 overs have gone for 20 put together. It's quite a finish.
It really is. The Stars have won 3 of their 4. That 1 no result. 2 wins, 2 defeats for the Vipers. And a little meeting between 3 experienced players. Just a little chat with Phoebe Franklin, who's got that 1 ball to go in the innings. Remember, the Vipers were asked to bat first in this game by Bryony Smith. 140 for 6 is the score. Driving down the ground to Davidson Richards. They've got to come back for a second. They will comfortably make it home. Just asking the question of the umpire, but no thoughts of a run out, and that is the end of the over, and indeed the end of the innings. And you have to say, very expensive from Franklin there, going for those 4 boundaries in that final over. A brilliant partnership. 69 from 50 balls at the end of the innings. And as we go into the innings break, 142 for 6 is the score. We'll just bring you up to date with the scorecard, because when you pick out the wicket of not so early on, you're thinking to yourself, could it be your day? She was caught. Davidson Richards bowled Franklin for 2. Elwes bowled by Gregory for 22. Then it was McCacken who went next, caught McDonald-Gay off the bowling of Stonehouse for 10. Adams, the skipper, caught Stonehouse, bowled Davidson-Richards for 19. Harman went for 7, trapped in front by Gregory, who also picked up the wicket of Windsor with the help of Hill behind the sticks, who completed the stumping. But it's that big partnership at the end. Monaghan finishing undefeated on 44, Southby on 25. And that really is a great fight back. Gregory, the standout bowler with those 3 wickets. But we've got a good game on our hands. We're going to see the highlights very shortly, Michael. But it is going to be an excellent second innings, you would think.
42 added off the last 3 overs of the contest. And time will tell quite how pivotal that proves to be. Time will also tell in terms of how the pitch is playing, whether this score is actually still under par. The general consensus from a couple of sources I've both spoken to in both camps felt like they'd want 150 batting first on this. An eventful first innings, a topsy-turvy first innings. It will be 143 to win. Let's have a look back at the highlights of that first innings. Elwood's facing up to the talented teenager. Swept around the corner, she sweeps well, Elwys against spin, and shows it there, 4 runs. Manchester Thunder will face the Blaze. It's a double header up there too. Straight at short mid-wicket and gone. A first wicket for the Stars. A really good sharp catch. Comes down the track this time to try and change the angle. It might well go for 4, it does. It escapes under Gregory. Gets funky this time. He gets it over short, fine leg and for 4. That's a really clever shot by Ella McCacken.
Into her 3rd over, and on the way once more with a little bit of width and straight into the arms. There is another wicket. Stonehouse again at the top of her mark, comes racing in past the umpire and just opening up the offside very elegantly and picking up a boundary. Arguably the best shot of the innings so far. So one of the best in the business, but nowhere near that. It was just hit with great force and almost like a carbon copy. This might run away to the boundary's edge, and it has. .49 for 2 is the score. Here is Danny Gregory to complete the set, and this is all off the bottom hand, and she's going to pick up 4 runs. Charging in once more past the umpire and again bowling straight, and it's going to dissect those 2 fielders. So the Kia Oval is a befitting venue for somebody of Davidson-Richards' quality, and this could be a chance to take a catch, and what a fine catch it is. .61 for 3 is the score, and here's Davidson-Richards charging in again, opening it up and working it down to 3rd. Will it run to the boundary's edge? It will.
Danny Gregory on again.
Yep, very talented. And there's another wicket right on cue. Danny Gregory sends one through to Elwys. .67 for 4 is the score as Gregory bowls outside off stump. A stumping opportunity and taken very nicely by Chloe Hill.
Run the ball from here, gets 1, 2, 3. Gregory appealing and given. A 3rd wicket for Gregory.
Dunkley, plenty of elevation here. It's going to race away. It could be the first 6 of the innings, and it is. business part of this, the second innings, but we will have half-time highlights for you. She's got underneath this, and it's going to be a second 6 of the innings.
Biggest score in these competitions so far this season, but that's going to be 4 more. Cut away by Monaghan.
That was too wide and put away with clinical precision. This time is going to be another 6. Just opening up the leg side once more, and this is a great hand from Monaghan. 136 for 6 is the score again, opening up the offside, plenty of back speed and picking up another boundary.
These girls trained their whole lives for moments like this. They're on a roll here in Wimbledon. Absolutely brilliant. Listen to the Oval crowd.
And welcome back. The South East Stars making their way out to the middle. We're seeing a huddle from the Southern Vipers, and we saw some good lower order hitting from the Vipers, which has taken their score up to 142, which means that the victory target is 143 for the Stars. Smith and Dunkley will open the innings, and you have to think to yourself, Michael, they're going to have to start nicely here, because they really did change the context of the game with some powerful lower order hitting.
Well, it was that partnership between Alice Monaghan and Rihanna Southby to add 69 or 50 balls, but even that doesn't quite tell the full story. 42 off the last 3 overs, and the last 5 balls of the innings from Alice Monaghan against Phoebe Franklin went for 22, 6-4, 6-4, 2. It is still a score that by all accounts is probably somewhere in and around par, but of course it's the psychological way in which that has been accumulated. The fact that so long in that innings, Vipers were struggling to get up to in and around 120. They got themselves to 140, and now they've got one of the best in the business at keeping it tight up top. Ready to come in and bowl. Lindsay Smith, exceptionally economical. Such a dependable performer. Rejoined the Vipers in 2023, having been with the Diamonds 2020 to 2022. Their first spell with the Vipers in 2016 and 2017 will pose a real threat for left arm spin into Smith, the first ball of the reply. Straight to short cover for no run. It's got a ring of 5 on the offside. And a long on and a deep mid wicket with the 2 allowed out. Fascinating to see how Smith goes there. Does she look to go inside out over this offside field? Instead pulls that straight to a short, really a short cow corner effectively. There's a long on and a deep mid wicket and a short fielder in between the two. Almost a very wide mid on, but more of a cow really. Wider of the crease this time. Straight to mid off where Adams fields. She'll be in action with the ball later on. Down the track, just at the ground, I should say, rather than really down the track from Smith. She'll get 1, brings on to strike Sophia Dunkley, who's in exceptional form at the moment in both 50 over and T20 cricket for the Stars. It's part of an England women's 11 that played at Pakistan women's team at Northampton back on the 21st of May, where it made 24 not out. It's had a couple of games for Stars since. A bit more flight on that one from Smith. 1 down to long on.
Well, the positives of the score that they're chasing, even though we saw that late flurry, they can, of course, afford to have a look, and they've got 2 experienced players out there in the middle.
Down on that one. Smith straight to extra cover. Typical Lindsay Smith over up top. Very tight from Smith, using all of her experience so impressively. 2 without loss after 1. Reminder that Stars are looking to continue their good form. Stars across the 50 over format and the T20 format have more wins in women's domestic cricket this season than anyone else. They're one of 4 teams with 4 wins from 6 in the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy, the 50 over competition. Sunrisers, Southern Vipers and Northern Diamonds all have that. The South East Stars also have 3 wins, as well as a washout in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. So Stars have won 7 of their 9 completed games across both competitions. Georgia Adams on. Adams with her offies. To re-bowl that one, a bit of a loosener. Hustle behind the stumps though from Southby. It's always nice when you've excelled in one skill set, moving on to another. Has batted well, and that's a good takedown leg there. Darts that one in, Adams. There's a bit of glove on this, and it will be hauled in. Thought of a second, ultimately decided against it. Just a single.
McCacken with the fielding, good bit of fielding, and using the Mickey Stewart Members Pavilion as the barometer. He's starting to really fill up here for this second innings, Michael.
Yeah, no, after about 7 overs of the first innings, we'd crossed the 4,000 mark, and we've definitely moved on from that. A bit more flight from Adams. This is between backward point and cover point for 1. So just working in singles so far. Really good crowd in. It's a rare time this summer where it's a genuinely beautiful day for it. Out to long on for 1. Good tight stuff here so far from Vipers, who have 2 wins and 2 defeats in the Charlotte Edwards Cup so far this season. Makes room, Smith. Does like that area through mid-wicket and long on. Another dot. Again, similarly to the plan for Smith, there's a mid-wicket and a long on with a fielder directly between the two and on the short. Smith jabs that straight to point, well adjusted by Adams after Smith had come down the pitch, and then that ring of 5 on the offside, so Adams can't offer too much width outside off stump, and indeed she's bowling very much to that plan. And for the sweep, some strangled, not overly confident LBW appeals. 3 dots to end the over. Good tight start from the Vipers, 6 without loss after 2.
Yeah, indeed, and in terms of what we've seen today in the Charlotte Edwards Cup, Sunrisers have beaten Northern Diamonds by 4 wickets. Grace Scriven's doing very nicely for the Sunrisers, the captain, to help them to victory. Lancashire Thunder against the Blaze to come from Emirates Old Trafford at 4 o'clock. But we're focusing on what's happening here, and there's plenty of work out on the Harleyford Road. The sirens making lots of noise, everybody looking on in anticipation. It's a great day to watch live cricket. We're enjoying it.
Again, Smith in. It's the same plan. Ring of 5 on the offside, hit hard but straight to Adams. I do sense something's got to give here. Smith and Dunkley are both naturally very aggressive players. Don't sense they're going to knock it around for too long. Down the track now and hit hard, well fielded by Smith off her own bowling. Looks like that may have hurt her a touch. At least there's the consolation of having protected her own bowling figures. It would have probably gone for 4. Instead it was fielded long on at the expense of a single.
Well, Dunkley smoked it. It was hit with great ferocity.
Didn't quite get the reward she might have hoped. Slightly mistimed, hits the stumps. Regardless, Dunkley was back. So Smith on 2 off 10 and being shackled quite well by, more than quite well by the 2 Vipers spinners early doors here.
Well, they're bowling nicely and there's no pace on, and that makes it difficult for the batters.
Smith makes room this time and cuts that away through cover point for 4. Really clever shot by Bryony Smith. This was not a ball that had any real width on it at all. Smith just steps away to leg, gets the timing perfect, bisects the fielders, and it's the Stars' first boundary of the reply.
Yep, to each and every one of you, that's your skipper showing great quality. Just to dissect the field and pick up the boundary, and that was certainly needed.
Smith on the reply. Slightly over pitch, slog sweat into the gap, and that will be back-to-back boundaries for Smith, who really needed that into double figures, having just moments ago been on 2 off 10. Pressure back on the bowler.
Yep, and that's the sign of a real experienced batter, somebody who knows her game inside out. Don't panic, there will be the opportunity. Back-to-back boundaries, great stuff.
This time from Smith. Nice to clear that front leg against spin, and then either as she was rehearsing, go with a flat back through extra cover, or look through mid-wicket. Into the 3rd over, the most productive over of the innings so far for Stars. It goes for 9, 15 without loss.
A reminder that it is very hot. If you are with us inside the ground, make sure you do stay hydrated. Make sure that you do put that sunscreen on if you are with us on the live stream. It's great to have you with us. And we've got a real good game on our hands. You can see there, 15 for no wicket through 3 overs. 143 is the victory target. 128 more needed. Let's have a look at the 2 fours from Smith in that over back-to-back.
It's very clever batting, because the 2 deliveries from Lindsay Smith are not that far different. That gives something to think about. Bryony Smith stepping back, cutting the shorter one for cover point, the slightly fuller one being slog swept right between the 2 fielders for 4 more. Change of bowling from the pavilion end. Goes inside out and manages to get it over cover. It will fly away off the practice pitches for 4. So a first boundary of the innings for Sophia Dunkley. Really showing her intent against Davies on the first ball of her spell.
And the youngsters away to her left-hand side, loving that. Showing their appreciation. Plenty of noise, plenty of sound. We're seeing it all here today.
Down the ground this time from Dunkley, who hasn't quite got all of this, but we've talked about how those shorter boundaries at straight parts of the ground here at the Oval provide a bit more value. Seems to be a bit of confusion between Dunkley and Smith as to if it's gone for 4.
We might be able to clear this up here. Surely it did.
I must say my first instinct was it wasn't quite pulled back in time, or if it was, there was definitely contact with a rope from Adams. This will confirm. Well, there you go, the ball ends up in the rope regardless.
Boundary.
Forgive us for not picking it up immediately. That is on the far side of the ground from us, a long way away. So it's another boundary for Dunkley. Thinking to do for Freya Davies, who's very impressive, tall, athletic bowler with quite a history in the game. 9 women's ODIs for England and 26 T20 internationals, including a best of 4 for 23 in the T20I in Wellington, a time where that was in New Zealand in 2021. She was really pushing her England claims. Last played for England at North Sound against the West Indies in December 2022 in the one-day format. Played against the Aussies at Birmingham last summer in July, T20s. Turned away for 1 more. Good quick running. That's as much an important part of the game as the boundary hitting. So suddenly, that is sure the required run rate isn't going to get away early doors. 2 boundaries from that last over of Lindsay Smith and 2 already of Freya Davies, and that's what's forced the change with Southby standing up to the stumps, trying to trap Smith and Dunkley in their crease, keep them honest in that sense. Smashed away by Smith. There is a sweeper out there, and all they'll do is fetch it back. First 6 of the reply from the South East Stars. Bryony Smith is getting right through the gears. She's scored 14 from the last 4 balls she's faced.
Wasp up to 80%. I always think it's very early to look at Wasp, but you look at this over, it's gone for 15. And Bryony Smith really is looking in the mood here. Of course, a big day for her. Surrey women turning professional next year. And Smith has become the first player to sign on. The skipper leading from the front.
Leading from the front with bat in hand here as well. Slow ball. Another cutter from Davies, and Smith will get 1. So 16 conceded. Davies has got this ring of 5 on the offside, so she can't afford too much width really. And it's got a very straight long on and deep square leg. Straight back from Dunkley to Davies, 2 players that will know each other very well from in and around England setup, as well as, of course, at domestic level. 31 without loss after 4. Smith 17, Dunkley 13. One interesting thing to watch from Sophia Dunkley that's quite unconventional, that albeit everybody finds different ways to do things. She has her two hands completely opposite ends of the bat. Technique that works well for her. Dunkley, who's been in and out of the England reckoning this season. Big summer for English women's team, and part of that is the IT20 against New Zealand at the Kia Oval. For now, though, 4 more runs for the Stars. The boundaries are suddenly coming at a pace here, having had to wait a little while for the first one. The run tap is very much flowing. None for 6 off 2. Since then, an over that's gone for 9 from Lindsay Smith. Then Davies conceded 16. And that for against Adams. Swap 10s. It's away straight to cover point. Actually make decent ground around to her left. Again, the same plan from the Vipers. Deep mid wicket and a long on. Ring of 5 on the offside. Looking to go, Smith I should say, looking to go inside out. Almost presented a catch to Elwes. Just jams down on that. There's no protection behind square on the offside, so Smith will get 4. The boundary is invitingly short straight both ends of the ground today, so there's good value for shots like that, as well as being able to bosh it down the ground if you can lap, if you can sweep, if you can guide. Really intelligent stuff from Smith. Deft touch. She's all of a sudden right into rhythm here. Short picks up the length really quickly and hammered away through square leg for 4. So it's yet another boundary, and right now the Vipers don't really have an answer. And Bryony Smith, having scored just 2 runs off her first 10 balls faced, has scored 27 off the next 10.
And suddenly there's only a further 100 runs needed now for the Stars.
She'll just want to continue the flow from Headingley. Well, the reaction from Adams suggests there's a nick on that from Smith. As it is, it's irrelevant, of course. It wasn't taken regardless by Southby behind the stumps. He over-concedes 12, 43 without loss after 5, and 36 has come off the last 3. Bryony Smith, who, of course, made 57 not out against the Diamonds earlier this week, the 31st of May. 57 off 41 unbeaten. The Stars won by 6 wickets with 4 overs to spare. Smith, who of course has a long history with Surrey, part of the Surrey Stars side that won the Kia Super League way back in 2018. Has played 8 T20Is for England as well. He's a women's one-day international. Last of those T20Is coming against India at Bristol in 2022. Bryony Smith with the excellent side she's led at Stars this season, certainly doing future opportunities in that regard, no harm at all.
Charlie not to complete the power play, she'll bowl in her cap. And here she is starting the 6th over of the innings. Dunkley just opening up and working the ball out to point. Emily Windsor is the fielder, and they're quickly through for a single. This is Jamie Reid, Michael McCann alongside. We're bringing you the live stream from the Kia Oval. We're going to go to the Kia best seat in the house slightly later on in the innings, round about the 8 over mark. 44 for no wicket. It's been a dream start. It was slow to begin with, but Bryony Smith has been going through the gears effortlessly. Dunkley's been keeping her good company. We heard from her pre-match, of course. opportunity to hear the thoughts of a player who starred for both the Stars and indeed the national team. This is the final over of the power play. The first 6, of course. 5 away from that half-century as Dunkley drills down the ground. Getting right in behind it was not. It was hit with a fair bit of ferocity.
Tidy stuff this from Knott, the 21-year-old Aussie. Bowled very well against Western Storm last time out, taking 4 for 23. Arguably the match winner in that one.
As Knott continues. This one is worked out by Dunkley to deep mid-wicket. They take 1. Just news and confirmation of Dunkley's gait as she looks to try and bat. It's not the most orthodox, but it's all about doing what's good for you, what proves to be effective. The way Dunkley's able to churn runs and score them at such a good lick, it clearly works. Slightly uppish as this is worked out on the leg side. 2 straight mid-wicket, no thoughts of a single.
Well, she's doing what quite a lot of players do against off-spin, which is essentially cover your stumps. Play on an off-stump guard.
For no wicket, the score remains. Here's Bryony Smith going leg side and picking up a single. And that is the end of the over. So the power play overs are done. 47 for no wicket is the score. The Stars chasing that 143 to win. Let's have a little look at the Manhattan and you will see that there was that excellent finish in the first innings from the Vipers. But it's been a good positive start from the Stars. And they're well set, needing a further 96 to win, Michael.
Well, they're 8 runs ahead of where the Vipers were. Vipers 39 for 2 off 6, and of course have not lost a couple of wickets. And if you'd have watched the first innings of this contest, you'll remember what happened next. Vipers had something of a mid-innings collapse. At one point, they lost 4 for 12 in 20 balls. Danny Gregory in particular wreaking havoc. So the Stars will be quite hopeful that they can avoid a similar fate. Will belong to them. Right now, they are in the proverbial driving seat, and even a 4-point win today would be quite the success.
Not only going for 4 first time out, this is slightly uppish, and it will be the first wicket of the innings. It was a chance for Lindsay Smith to come back into the attack, and that's been taken by the skipper, making no mistake, Georgia Adams. It was looping, it was high in the air, and unfortunately it is the dismissal of the skipper. Smith sent on her way back for 31, and that is a big breakthrough, and you can see what it means to the Vipers in the field. They go into a huddle, Smith makes her way back, and the score is 47 for 1.
Well, it's an excellent first wicket partnership. Real frustration for the Stars. Smith just going slightly inside out on that, mistiming it, trying to get it up and over using those fast hands. And out to the crease comes someone who's been in excellent nick recently. He's had a very good season with the bat in both 50 over and T20 cricket. Paige Schofield with a rapid 73 not out for the South East Stars against Thunder at Beckenham back not too long ago on the 24th of May. 73 not out, coming off just 39 balls with 12 fours and a 6. Even a bit of that would be great for Stars here. Already has scored a 74 against Storm at Taunton and 65 against Sparks at Beckenham in the 50 over comp 2.
To continue and bowl to the new batter, Schofield, who pushes the ball down the track very confidently but doesn't pick up a single. The rate you'll see there, 7.42. The run rate required just a shade over 7. So certainly South East Stars moving along nicely as this one is just worked out to deep cover. And that means that the batter at 3, Schofield, will get off the mark and bring Dunkley back on, who's been a little bit more circumspect than Smith, who batted very nicely for her 31. Certainly the aggressor, there's going to be a change in the field. because the fielder comes into the ring from deep cover, and Adams will go out to long off as Dunkley pushes the ball into the leg side and picks up a single. Running between the wickets will be good between these two, plenty of communication. Dunkley wearing that 47 shirt, always enjoys the big occasion, and there is the half century. Schofield working the ball into the offside, and the 50 coming up at the end of the 7th over. Good from the Stars this. Wasp is at 81%, which shows that those that know well believe that the Stars can be positive here. Still one to go in the over, in fairness, as coming down the ground and drilling the ball down to Adams, who deposited herself onto that boundary's edge at long off. They take a single, which means that the bowling will be kept there. 92 more runs to win off 13 at 7.08 and over. The Stars set fair.
Remember, of course, the Stars have got that power-packed middle order. Phoebe Franklin, Avis Cranstone, Alice Davidson-Richards. And later on, we'd expect Trevor McDonald-Gay, Alexa Stonehouse, Tanya Gregory, Tilly Coulson-Coleman. It's a very deep batting lineup. It's a batting lineup feared by a lot of the other regions in women's domestic cricket. What a day for it as well. Part one of a double-header, plenty of them going on across the country. Thunder versus Blaze starting in just over half an hour in Manchester. This double-header happening up there too.
Well, it's wonderful, isn't it, to make sure that you can watch on the big occasion and you can see a couple of games to get bang for your buck, and you certainly get that here at the Kia Oval. It's a dot as Dunkley pushes the ball to mid-off in the ICC Men's T20 World Cup. That's underway. The United States of America beating Canada by 7 wickets. West Indies against Papua New Guinea just about to get underway. And Dunkley again pushing the ball back down the track there, and the fielding is carried out by Adams, who is almost like a traffic warden, constantly telling people where to be, moving people into position. She really cares, Charlie Knott. No real surprise when you've been as good as she's been over the years. You want to try and make sure that you continue to do the business. Turning this one round the leg side, or into the leg side, just round the corner. Dunkley moves on to 18. Schofield has 2 not out at the end. At the other end, we'll go to the Kia best seat in the house at the end of this over. 3 balls away from joining Sam for that. 52 for 1 is the score, as Knott just faces up to Schofield, who's perfectly still, as this time she just opens up the face. No fielder at third, or the fielder is short, so it means it's just going to run away to the boundary's edge. 4 more willing runs there to the Southeast Stars. Plenty of adulation all around. The youngsters starting to get involved and really enjoy it. There's another boundary. Schofield on to 6. 56 for 1. And Knott knows that there's work to do here. 2 balls to go in the over. Dunkley 18 from 17, ticking along. Schofield has started positively here. That's gone down the leg side. They appeal. I think it's just half-hearted to try and stop James Treadwell from extending those arms. He does signal that it's wide. It's a long way down the leg side, in fairness. And Knott will have another chance to hopefully improve on that last delivery. Here she is, this time the other side of the wicket. Schofield just works it to point and picks up a single. Brings Dunkley back onto strike. It's been harder to get the spinners away in this game. That's certainly what we've seen so far. Gregory was good with the ball for the Stars. It's been more difficult to try and get the slower bowlers away, perhaps with pace on. Is it a little bit easier for these two? We end the over with a dot. Knott carries out the fielding. And let's go to the best seat in the house with Sam.
I'm back in the Kia best seat in the house, which really is the best seat in the house today because it is baking hot out there, and here is some shade in here, which is nice to be enjoying, isn't it, Claudie?
Yeah, loving it.
Yeah, it's a fascinating game actually, because that little flurry of runs at the end from the Vipers, a great knock from Alice Monaghan, just gave them something that they'd be thinking they could possibly defend, and then they've taken that wicket of Bryony Smith. Where do you see things?
Yeah, I think we had a really good fielding innings with a couple of key moments. Lex's catch was unbelievable. Danny's 4 overs for 3 wickets was also really, really nice to watch. I think we started really well with the bat. Yeah, Dunks and Bride started off really, really well, and now, I mean, we've got a really, really good batting lineup all the way down to 11. All of us can bat, but we've got Paige in now, and Paige can definitely get the job done as well.
Yeah, and the team bat deep, don't they?
Yes, yeah, you do. We do pride ourselves on having a lot of people who can bat, bowl and field extremely well.
Just a quick word for Tilly Courtine-Coleman, who obviously had that incredible 4 in 4 at Durham. As a fellow spin bowler, you saw her today, 4 economical overs. You know, spin twins. Must be very impressed with that young performance.
Yeah, Tilly's been unbelievable. I've known her for quite a while. She came through the academy. Really, really nice to see her make her debut. And yeah, the other day she bowled absolutely unbelievable. So yeah, it's really, really nice to see that she's coming through at only 16 years old and being able to bowl like that on the big stage. It's really, really good.
What do we need? So Stars 62 for 1. We're requiring another 81. Confident that they can do that in the remaining overs?
Yeah, definitely. As I said before, we bat really, really deep. So even if we lose a couple of wickets, we're already ahead on the run rate, and 100% I back Stars to win this game.
Thank you very much, Collie, for that expert analysis.
Yep, indeed. Great synopsis from down there in the Kia. Best seat in the house from Claudie Cooper. Always good to hear from Claudie. Thank you, Sam. 64 for 1 is the score here. Dunkley ticking along. Schofield's come in, and we heard Claudie say there that she certainly backs Paige Schofield, and you can certainly see why, because she's been in excellent touch so far. This time driving the ball to extra cover. And that is going to be a dot. Schofield not able to pick up a single on this occasion. But you look at Wasp at 89%, Michael, that shows the dominance that we're seeing from the Stars.
Yeah, certainly, no doubt you'd rather be right now. Even by the Vipers' standards of winning games from tough positions, this would be quite something.
1 or 2 candy floss clouds as we see a single just racing through, and that's very impressive from Schofield, just to rotate the strike. And that's what you want to try and see from your team out there in the middle. So far, so good for the Surrey Stars. At 6 o'clock, Surrey take on Somerset, the men in T20 action. We're looking forward to that here at the Kia Oval, where it's starting to really fill up. Everybody enjoying the opportunity to watch these 2 games and to watch it in style on the big stage. The run rate 7.22, the rate required 7.09, 9 overs gone, 65 for 1 the Stars.
Great to hear from Claudie Cooper. There's an interview on the Stars Instagram with a young off-spinner talking about her journey in the game so far. It's well worth a look, including studying criminology at the University of Surrey, life outside of cricket, playing hockey at university, coming through at Linfield CC when it comes to all things bat and ball. Plenty more, so do keep an eye on that. At SE Stars Cricket on socials is the place to look.
Nancy Harmon into the attack now, and there's no real need to see anything other than spin, because it's been harder to try and get the spinners away. Schofield will feel that she's missed out there, and you can understand why. The expression across her face was fully evident. Either side of that fielder, it might race away. Here is Harmon again, and Schofield just giving herself a bit of room, working the ball out to deep cover. This is Jamie Reid in the commentary box alongside Michael McCann. It's been our pleasure to commentate on all of the Stars games, home games so far this season. Couple of quick steps down the track, and that is perfectly elegant. A carpet drive from Sophia Dunkley. She moves on to 23. A couple of quick steps to get to the pace. Make sure that she got to the flight of that delivery, and she's nailed it. Straight through the hand of Nancy Harmon. She quickly dropped down that hand, but that was hit with great ferocity. And that victory target of 143. doesn't look big enough, does it, for the South East Stars batters? They're nearly halfway there.
Well, realistically, what Vipers have got to do is exactly what Stars did at this point. Bring about some kind of a middle order collapse that brings about a bit of panic in the home dressing room.
2 balls to go until we reach the halfway stage. A little bit of width here for Dunkley. Is this going to race away to the boundary's edge? Good bit of fielding. Eventually she stopped it going out over the rope, and just a couple of runs picked up.
Just had a little tap on the shoulder to say that now got more than 5,000
wow
in the ground. Absolutely fantastic. We were mentioning that it's been steadily filling up as time's gone on.
Brilliant to see John Surtees getting out the abacus just to count everybody up as Dunkley goes down the ground. They pick up another single. And that is the end of the over. And we are at the halfway stage. 73 for 1 is the score, which means that a further 70 runs are required for victory from 60 balls. And commentary for the next 5 overs comes from Michael McCann.
John Surtees, of course, has got a brand new podcast with Tom Holland from the rest of his history, looking back at the extensive history of this storied cricket ground, Tales from the Oval. Well worth a look. 73 for 1 from 10. South East Stars really well placed to stay unbeaten in the Charlotte Edwards Cup this season. 4 wins plus a washout is what it will be if they can see this one through. And remember as well, that washout was on Monday at Beckenham, and Stars were in complete control against the Western Storm, who were 38 for 3 after the 6-over power play before 2 hours of constant rain. Saw that one abandoned, a couple of points each. Change of bowling from the Vauxhall Road end. It's turned away for 1. And at this stage, Stars don't need to necessarily take any over the undue risks. Taylor on to try and break the partnership. That being said, much like in the Thunder game where Schofield finished it in a flurry of boundaries, these two are both naturally aggressive players. Slicking straight drive. They'll take something to cut this off. It won't be cut off. Beautiful shot from Schofield. And that gives you an idea of how true the pitch is. You could argue slightly over-pitched from Taylor, but the timing is just glorious.
Yeah, it was in the slot, that bottom hand coming through, and the power all the way down the ground. Very, very elegant from Schofield. She's looked in excellent touch here. 18 from 13. So many role models on show, Michael. It's lovely to see. Quite fancy that 99.
Tough task this for Mary Taylor, the 19-year-old, bowling in a situation like this. Short, and that's guided away. That will be more runs. Might well be 4 of them. It will be 4 of them. So back-to-back boundaries. The power down the ground, and then the deft touch through third from Schofield. And all of the pressure on the talented teenager Taylor here to find something to drag the Vipers back into it, because it's in danger of getting away from the visitors very quickly now. It's the pads. Is there a little nick on that? Rose Darby says no. Really came off something on the way through, hence the lack of a wide. Smart keeping from Southby.
Yeah, Georgia Adams just inquisitive towards the umpire.
Remember as well, there is potentially another point up for grabs here if Stars' run rate in victory is 1.25 times better than their opponents. Shortland worked straight to point. Dunkley come a long, long way in anticipation of being able to scamper through. He's rightly sent back by Schofield. It would have been a definite run out.
Well, you generally have your best fielders in key positions, and Lindsay Smith's done remarkably well there to dive away to her right and stop what would have been a boundary.
Almost a caught and bowled chance for Taylor, fielded by Adams in customary mid-off position.
Well, Taylor took the pace off that, and the batter was almost through the shot.
End of the 11th over, 82 for 1. So right now, Stars in control, and Vipers needing something unexpected to turn the tide their way.
Look at this, everybody on the big screen. They're looking forward to the Vitality Blast fixture. That's to come. Surrey against Somerset at 6 o'clock. But this has been an excellent opener to this doubleheader. 82 for 1 the score, 61 more needed. 9 overs in which to chase them down. The South East Stars cruising along nicely.
Speaking of things to look forward to, Stars next in action at Lords on Thursday the 6th of June, away against the Sunrisers. And back in home action against the Central Sparks at the Spitfire Ground in St Lawrence, Kent, on Sunday the 9th of June in a week's time. So he's not. Nice flight, met by Dunkley coming down track for 1. So it's Sunrisers next Thursday, then Central Sparks next Sunday, and then the Saturday after that, Saturday the 15th of June, we're back here for the second T20 head-to-head against the Sunrisers. Touch shorter, and Schofield picked up the length of that ball so quickly. Just sieves it away to the cover boundary with exquisite timing. Well, I mentioned that finisher's knock she played in the run chase against Thunder, where she smashed 73 not out. She's looking in the mood for something similar here. Just coming back to those fixtures, the Stars finished their T20 campaign away against the Blaze on Sunday the 16th of June at the Ancora County Ground, and then away against the Vipers, his opponents, at the First Central County Ground on the 19th of June. So that's swept round the corner. Will be one out to deep backward square. And after that 10-game league phase, assuming the South East Stars have managed to finish in the top 4, which right now they look extremely well placed to do so, will be at Derby for finals day on Saturday the 22nd of June. Hard down the ground. Just 1. Partnership progressing nicely though. It's very much on the Vipers to find something to change the momentum of this fixture.
Yeah, these two have put on 42. Schofield's got 27 of them. Takes that one away, Schofield. Again, it's something I mentioned earlier on with Dunkley. A lot of players opting to do. You'd have noticed would not be able to see the stumps at all. Getting right across to the off spinner, covering her stumps, backing herself to make sure that they're going to miss that straight one. They can make appropriate judgments off knowing that her back foot is on that line of off. Dunkley doing the same thing. Dunkley touch happy that unhappy about having to wait a second there for not. Clever shot from Dunkley. Just guided away like an artist with a paintbrush. Lovely shot from Sophia Dunkley. Knew exactly what she was doing. Nobody behind square on the offside. 4 runs. Thank you very much. 94 for 1 off 12. Well, at the moment, victory is coming at a canter. That was played with such delicate, soft hands, just dabbing towards the ball. And this partnership now, 47 from 35 balls. There are the 2 partnerships. 47 for the first wicket, 47 unbroken for this second. It's been dominant from the Stars.
Dunkley's kind of played second fiddle in both of them. He's just realised that Smith and Schofield have been in the flow of things, and he's happily supported alongside. So, 49 to win off 48. There's also the possibility, if they can wrap this up quickly enough, of getting that extra point for having run rate 1.25 times higher than their opponents. Davies has changed ends. He's been hit out to deep cover for 1.
You feel for Georgia Adams. She's just trying to find a formula, and it's not there, is it?
Well, Davies went for 16 for a first over from the pavilion end. It's now been tried from the Vauxhall end. Adams herself has got one left. Smith has gone for 1 for 15 off 3. Has been their most economical bowler. She's got one left of Charlie Knott as well. All the way to short, fine leg. Tries slightly dicey looking single. A direct hit might have been interesting, as it was Schofield scampers home. Partnership just one short of a half century now. These two came together when Bryony Smith was out. Caught by Adams off Lindsay Smith from the first ball outside of the power play. First ball of the 7th over. They'll try another tight single there. There was a bit of hesitation, and a direct hit definitely was gone there. Schofield just having a little chat with Dunkley now. There was a moment where both were mid-pitch. The 50 partnership is now up off 38 balls. A very decent clip that. Sounded good off the bat, but that's straight at deep mid-wicket for 1. And you would say the longer this game goes on, now we've seen an extended period of both teams, of course, getting a chance to bat, but what sources from both camps had suggested to me pre-match, which is that you want an absolute minimum of 150 batting on this pre-match, if not a fair bit more, is proving true. Again, in swing from Davies. They'll get 3 from 1. All singles so far. Singles okay for Stars. Necessarily need that much more.
No, a runner ball wins it. 44 to win from 43, 9 wickets in hand. All of the pressure is on the Vipers. They've got to pick up wickets. They've got to bowl wicket-taking deliveries.
Just nudged away for 1 more, so 6 runs off the over. It's 10 fewer than what Fred Davies conceded off her first, which had come earlier on from the pavilion end. So 100 up, 100 for 1 off 30. Stars sitting pretty comfortably. I want to see if they can finish it off in style as well. Net run rate could be pivotal in the latter part of this competition. Could be the thing that's the difference between securing first, second, third or fourth, or indeed avoiding slipping out into 5th. Right now with South East Stars, of course, top of the table, and already with the best net run rate of any team in the competition by quite a distance. They will be eyeing up a further boost in that regard. Harmon's now changed ends to the pavilion end. Short pulled away. To deep mid-wicket for 1. Dunkley's not had a lot of the strike as well. Before that ball had only faced 31 balls from the 91 bowled thus far. Had only faced just over 30% of the bowling. Short, Schofield rocks back. Just another single. Tidily ticking things off here, Stars. Again, just turned round the corner for 1.
One thing that's really impressed me in this game so far in the run chase has been Dunkley's game management. She was happy to play second fiddle to Smith, and she's carried on likewise with Schofield, just ticking along.
No need to do much else. Vipers haven't necessarily forced Stars to do too much else. The pitch, you would say, is looking pretty flat and true. Had the roller on it a little bit mid-innings. But the pitch played pretty well first innings as well. So Stars bowled and fielded very well, particularly Danny Gregory in the middle. Shorter. Jammed down on it to get it out to extra cover. Kind of whacked into the ground, and again it's another single. 11 singles in a row from this Harmon over, and the Davies one before it. Short, hit hard by Schofield, right in the gap between extra cover and mid-off, so the run of singles is broken by a boundary. And another one for Paige Schofield, who looks in fine touch. End of the 14th over, which concedes 9, 109 for 1.
Well, it takes a special player to beat the field. A little bit of turn there, we saw it, and it was put away, wasn't it, with clinical ease and accuracy. Just perfectly dissecting those two fielders. And if you're Georgia Adams, I think you're fearing that your team are going to come second best here. She's going to bring herself back.
Adams has bowled 3 overs so far. He's conceded 23. Charlie Knott has got 1 spare, as does Lindsay Smith. And would need to potentially find 3 more between Freya Davis, Nancy Harmon and Mo Taylor. Almost yorked herself there, Dunkley, but ends up skipping through for 1. Under a run, a ball required. Stars will want to just tip things off with a minimum of fuss. Adams changing her field. She's now going to a 5-4 onside field. She's moved short third round to short fine leg. Just a long off and then short extra cover. Short cover point and a backward point on the offside. Down the ground, almost hits Dunkley. And it goes for 4. Shouldn't have gone for 4, but does. That's a bit of a gift for the Stars. It's an uncharacteristic error from Charlie Knott. Struck well enough, but it's a regulation pickup for a fielder of the 21-year-old Australian's quality. We're all human beings, we all make mistakes. Goes for 4. Pushed by Schofield straight to fielder in that short mid-wicket position. Halfway between mid-wicket and mid-on. Described it earlier on as almost a short cow corner as such. And well struck. Nodder's got it. Make ground coming round, and this time can't stop that one. Well, that was straighter and hit harder and truer. So no fault of Knott's that occasion. The second boundary of the over. Schofield is eager to finish off this run chase in a hurry. Over pitch from Adams. Favourite areas of Schofield's, down the ground, all the way along the carpet. Just 5 away from a rapid 50. Get one of them here. Remember that this is part 1 of a double-header, Surrey versus Somerset in the Men's Vitality Blast later on. Fancy footwork down the ground, straight at Knott for 1. So end of the over, a very profitable one for Stars. Picking up 11 from it. 20 for 1 of 15. Later on tonight, Surrey looking to make it 3 from 3 in the Men's Vitality Blast. Currently sit top of the South Group. Somerset with a win from their only game so far. And as for the game in progress, here's a wagon reel, including that smashed 6 through mid-wicket from Bryony Smith. It's been a very impressive all-round performance from South East Stars today, who, assuming they do go on to see this one home, will have 8 wins from the 10 completed games that they've played this season. 2 losses, both of those in the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy, the 50-over competition, and then that washout on Monday against Western Storm at Beckenham, when Stars were in control of the contest, had Storm 38 for 3 off 6.
Lindsay Smith is going to bowl this latest over, 5 to go. That's a slightly quicker one, worked away out back with a square on the leg side by Dunkley, who picks up another single. She's on to 42. Schofield has 46. It really has been bat-dominating ball in this second innings. Sam's got the best seat in the house. He's in the Kia best seat in the house seat. I tell you what, we're not far behind. We're in the Chibeno commentary position in the Brian Johnston, and it is wonderful to be able to watch on here at the Kia Oval. Michael mentioned about Surrey Somerset coming up in the Vitality Blast. That one starts at 6 o'clock, so there will be the opportunity to make sure you stay hydrated and have a pint or a soft drink equivalent. Here's Dunkley looking to try and pick up a boundary and perfectly dissecting the field. Racing now on to 46, one boundary away from a half century. Who's going to get there first? Schofield has 47 at the other end, and the runs required for victory dropping like a stone. 17 more needed.
Should be enough for both of them. 17, unless one of them really gets on a roll from here.
Lindsay Smith on her way once more. Here is the left armour, and this one is dissecting the field again. Very, very impressive from Dunkley. Calmness personified to reach the half century. We heard from her before the game got started, and she was in confident mood. When you're that elegant, when you're that good with the bat in hand, nothing is a problem. Dunkley on to 50. The Stars on to 130 for one. 13 more runs needed.
50 off 38 balls with 5 fours.
A great contribution, a telling hand this from Dunkley. He's going to pick up another single. What I love about this is when you look around, you can see everybody glued to the edge of their seats, making sure that they're looking on. The vast majority, of course, wanting the Stars to win. We do have some travelling Vipers, of course, and that's good to see. So many youngsters here. We're up at over 5,000. It's only going to get larger, the crowd. Schofield, 2 away from a half century, working the ball down to long off. 16 overs bowled, 133 for one.
First Charlotte Edwards Cup half century this season for Sophia Dunkley, after scores of 23 against Storm, 11 against Thunder and 25 against the Diamonds. Dunkley's very much come to the party today, showing all the class that you'd expect of someone who has represented her country 92 times, including 55 in Women's T20 internationals, 801 runs in that format, and an average of 22, including 3 Women's T20 I50s. She has another half century, of course, this time at domestic level to add to her collection, and Schofield is just 2 away from hers, which would be a second of the campaign in T20s after 73 not out against Thunder.
Here's Freya Davis to continue from this Vauxhall end. Drilled down to Adams from the first one. Not clean fielding, and they'll be able to turn 1 into 2. And Schofield will reach her half century. Very, very pleasing this. You can see what it means. She's patted the badge there. She's proud to be a Star. And both of them have reached that cherished mark of going past the 50 mark. 9 more runs for victory. They're cantering along and getting there so quickly.
50 off just 33 balls. 8 fours as well. 5 balls quicker than Dunkley.
Paige Schofield in excellent form so far. 134 for one. That one's come back, and it might well be a wicket here. You could see the frustration etched across the face of Schofield as she makes her way back. Freya Davis has picked up a wicket here. It's been bat-dominating ball, but you can see that means a lot to Davis. It means a lot to the Vipers. It's all going to be in vain, but Schofield's day is at an end. She's sent back on her way for 50, caught by Southby, the wicket-keeper, off the bowling of Davis. What a knock.
Lovely slow ball from Davis. It came back a fair bit. I think it was her off-cutter. Southby. A nice grab, standing up to the stumps. There's no such thing as an easy one. So 134 for 2. And out comes Phoebe Franklin. Stars look to finish things off, having a little chat with Dunkley. Franklin so far in the Charlotte Edwards Cup this season has made a few small contributions. 16 against Storm, 1 against Thunder. Didn't bad against Storm in the washout, and then 14 against the Diamonds at Chester Street just a few days ago.
Well, it's a nice situation to come in if you are Phoebe Franklin. Just 9 more runs needed for victory. 22 balls in which to chase them down. The fielder from deep cover comes into the ring. There is a fielder set back on the leg side at deep mid-wicket. This one just goes to backward point. No thoughts of a single. Good bit of fielding carried out there by Lindsay Smith, who's been in the game throughout, looking to try and play her part. But it's just been very dominant with bat in hand from the Stars. Surrey will be hoping to do likewise in the Vitality Blast when that one gets underway. The men playing at 6 o'clock, just over a couple of hours away from the start of that fixture. And everybody's going to be able to enjoy this double-header. Here is Davis to continue, and bowling one onto the pads of Franklin, who's off the mark at the second time of asking. Just a couple of balls to go in the over. 2 boundaries would do it.
A reminder that pretty much starting now at Old Trafford is the third of 3 Charlotte Edwards Cup games today. Thunder playing Blaze. Blaze have 4 wins from 4, with alongside Stars on 16 points coming into today.
Dunkley 51 off 39. He's just turning this one into the leg side and taking a single.
Stars started the day ahead of the Blaze on net run rate. And even 4 points. It will be a very welcome addition. It's a very good sign if you're beating last season's winners in 50 over in T20 cricket, trophy winners in both formats early season.
Davis to complete her 3rd over. It is going to be another dot ball as it races to extra cover. The fielding is carried out. Davis 1 for 26 through 3. 18 balls left in the innings, 7 runs required for victory. And here's confirmation of Paige Schofield reaching 50, just driving the ball down the ground.
Well, you'd say the trademark shots from this innings were the 3 straight drives. All almost carbon copies of each other. It's an area that she's very strong in, but scored impressively all around the wicket.
Yep, and that celebration was great. Here is the wicket, the dismissal.
33 ball 50, and then out to the 34th. Actually faced a second T20 50 this season for the Stars, to go with 2 in the 50 over competition. Stars getting ready to celebrate.
Yep, not far away from victory now. A couple of changes in the field, but Georgia Adams will know that her side have been second best here, and barring a miracle from their perspective, it will be the Stars who will register another victory. They've been very impressive. And they're going to pick up another single here.
Not back on, having gone for 23 from her first street. Impressive 21-year-old Australian all-rounder who's been a real valuable addition to Vipers' side.
When you look at what she's done at the age of 21, it's amazing to think she is just that age. Loves wearing that cap when she bowls. 137 for 2 is the score. James Treadwell looks on. An off-spinner himself as this one is turned round the corner. No thoughts of a single, you could see. But Dunkley wanted to try and get back onto strike. He did have the call, but there was no single there. 16 balls in which to chase down the 6 runs required for victory. Not again at the top of her mark as everybody looks on. Bit of width on the offside, that's going to be 4 runs. Franklin getting in on the act, and suddenly just 2 more runs are needed for victory. It's been so good from the South East Stars in this competition. I think Georgia Adams is going to tell everybody to come up here. Little bit of power. If you can beat the field, you've got every chance of hitting the winning runs off this next delivery as Knott continues driving down the ground. They're going to pick up a single. Franklin got plenty of elevation, but not too much in the way of power. But the scores are level.
And this is the kind of result that made people in women's cricket right across the country sit up and take notice. The Stars will have beaten the Vipers in both 50 over and T20 formats this season. Remember, the Vipers are the defending double champs.
So the scores are level. Here is Knott bowling. Oh, she's been caught, would you believe it? Sophia Dunkley looking to try and finish it in style, and she's been caught at straight mid-wicket. Not a nice way to end it. Lindsay Smith has battled hard in this game, and she's picked up a nice catch there. Dunkley's stay is at an end. She's sent back for 53, but what a knock it's been, and so close now. Just one more run needed for victory.
Oh, you have to feel for Dunkley. A wonderful innings, 53 off 41 balls, 38 ball 50, 6 fours. Slightly mistiming that. And, a simple enough catch for a fielder of Lindsay Smith's quality. Dunkley not quite getting the joy of walking off having finished things off, but I'm sure consolation of a half-century and an excellent Stars win against the defending champions is quite the consolation prize. So Alice Davidson-Richards will come out to join Phoebe Franklin.
Well, it's a nice position to be in. You've got 2 overs after this, but you've got 1 ball to hopefully see your side through to victory. Dunkley was frustrated as she made her way off. You could see that. The gloves came off, and
that's the mentality of an elite professional.
That's a winner. That's a winner. You want to make sure you see your side through to victory, and she's done all but exactly that. What could Knott do here? 1 for 29, 1 ball to go in her set. Turned round the corner, it's another. Would you believe it? At the start of her next match, Knott will be on a hat-trick. Alice Davidson-Richards has gone, just wanted to try and ramp it, turned it round the corner, and again, another catch. Davidson-Richards is on her way back. Somebody's got to pad up a bit quick.
Yes, this is one of those situations you sometimes get it at club level as well, where the whole dugout is going, oh, could someone just finish it? Well, it's Davidson-Richards didn't quite get enough on it. It was clever from Knott. Knott sort of took the pace off when she saw Davidson-Richards going down on one knee. And, well, classic Alice Davidson-Richards. She's known as someone who has the widest smile in women's cricket. She can have a good laugh about it. And with the Stars only 4 down, we're not quite at the point yet where it should be panic stations. It is 1 to win with 6 wickets in hand and 2 overs left.
Mary Taylor with the catch. We'll hopefully be able to pick up an interview at the end of this innings from the Stars camp. That wicket of Davidson-Richards making it 2 in 2 for Knott. A half smile, I suppose, from the all-rounder. 12 balls to go, and it is the wicket-keeper, Chloe Hill, out there in the middle, just surveying the scene. She's off strike at the moment. Franklin is on strike, and you can see the field there when we look at the wide angle. Everybody right in on the money, because 1 single wins it. What are we going to see here? Freya Davis at the top of her mark. The scores are level. Only 1 run required for victory. Here is Franklin working the ball down to the vacant third. It's going to run away for a boundary. And again, very impressive from the table-topping Stars. They've made it 4 wins from 5, courtesy of picking up this victory over the powerhouses over the years, Southern Vipers. They've beaten them in style by 6 wickets. And this is another signal of the quality that the Stars are showing this campaign. What a performance, Michael McCann.
A superb performance. 8 wins from 10 completed games across T20 and 50 over women's domestic cricket this season for the Stars. They are unbeaten in the T20 format. 4 wins and a washout in the Charlotte Edwards Cup this season. They take victory by 6 wickets with 11 balls to spare, and in truth, apart from a stand of 69 unbroken for the 7th wicket between Alice Monaghan and Rihanna Southey, with some late hitting to get the Vipers up to 142. It was a pretty comfortable win for the Stars. They were always in control of the contest's overall shape, and that total, we can say it safely now, both teams have batted on that pitch, was definitely under par. It was a comfortable, controlled performance with the bat, and it's worth remembering the overall context here. You were watching in the Southern Vipers, a side who are the women's domestic double reigning champions, holders of the Rachael Heyhoe-Flint Trophy and the Charlotte Edwards Cup across the respective 50 and 20 over formats today. And now, having beaten the Vipers by 3 wickets with 3 balls to spare when the sides met at Beckenham in the 50 over format back in April, they've now done it in the T20 format today here in early June. It's fair to say that the Stars right now, as things stand, they might not be holders of either of the 2 titles, but they are the team across the country who others are looking at, thinking we've got to find a way to stop them.
Yeah, I fully agree with you. It's been so impressive. You can see Johan Myberg there and Darren Stevens, 2 of the coaches. Johan heading up the coaching for the Stars, and it has been very, very impressive. Very good with the bat again, and so many players putting up their hands and wanting to really play a part here. Sunrisers are the next opponents. That's 2:15 on Thursday at Lords, and then on the next game, Stars hosting Central. That's on Sunday, so a week on from today, and that one is or Central Sparks, I should say. That's an 11 o'clock start, so we very much look forward to that. Sam is going to make sure he gets us an interview very, very shortly, and you can see that there's plenty of excitement down there from the South East Stars. Let's throw to Sam. Who have you got for us?
Well, a comprehensive win for the South East Stars. I'm delighted to say I'm joined by one of the stars, Paige Schofield, who has joined us pitchside. Well batted. You must be delighted with your own performance, but also what is a very comprehensive win against the defending champions.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to win against the defending champions. Vipers are a great team. They've got really good players in there. But also to get the home win it's up there. So the girls are really happy, and we can't wait to be back here and playing.
And what about this crowd here at the Kia Oval? Fantastic to be here playing, and the start of a double-header, and doing the crowd proud as well.
Yeah, it's been amazing having the crowd behind us. They're roaring for the 4s and all that. So we hope they come back. But yeah, really enjoyed it. Can't wait to be back here.
Your own form, another 50 today, a great knock as well earlier at Beckenham. You must be feeling in fine touch.
Yeah, feeling good. I mean, I owe a lot of it to Mybes and Stevo. They work hard with me in the nets, even when I'm throwing tantrums. But yeah, so I really look forward to it, and yeah, enjoying it.
And will you be joining everyone else here at the Kia Oval and kicking back and enjoying some Surrey action this afternoon?
Of course, you'll probably see me in the crowd with the Pims. Probably not allowed to say that, but yeah, I will be here. Definitely thingy on the men. So yeah, can't wait.
After playing as well as that, you can say what you like, Paige. Paige Schofield, ladies and gentlemen. Well, there we go.
Thanks.
So a fantastic win for the South East Stars.
Indeed, yeah, it was a very impressive performance from Paige Schofield, and all of the batters really making their mark in this victory. 6 wickets is the method of victory. Let's have a look how the Stars did it.
Spinners early doors here.
Well, they're bowling nicely, and there's no pace on, and that makes it difficult for the batters.
Smith makes room this time and cuts that away through cover point for 4. Slightly over pitch, slog swept into the gap, and that will be back-to-back boundaries for Smith. Change of bowling from the pavilion end. Goes inside out and manages to get it over cover. It will fly away off the practice pitches for 4. Down the ground this time from Dunkley, who hasn't quite got all of this, but we've talked about how those shorter boundaries, that straight parts of the ground here at the Oval provide a bit more value. Smashed away by Smith. There is a sweeper out there, and all they'll do is fetch it back. First 6 of the reply from the South East Stars. Big summer for English women's team, and part of that is the IT20 against New Zealand at the Kia Oval. For now, though, 4 more runs for the Stars. Just jams down on that. There's no protection behind square on the offside, so Smith will get 4. Short picked up the length really quickly and hammered away through square leg for 4.
Not only going for 4 first time out, this is slightly uppish, and it will be the first wicket of the innings. It was a chance for Lindsay Smith to come back into the attack, and that's been taken. Just faces up to Schofield, who's perfectly still, as this time she just opens up the face. No fielder at third, or the fielder is short. Couple of quick steps down the track, and that is perfectly elegant.
Slicking straight drive. It'll take something to cut this off. It won't be cut off. Short, and that's guided away. That will be more runs. Might well be 4 of them. It will be 4 of them. So back-to-back boundaries. Shorter, and Schofield picked up the length of that ball so quickly.
Schofield in excellent form so far. 134 for 1. That one's come back, and it might well be a wicket here. You could see the frustration etched across the face of Schofield as she makes her way back. So the scores are level. Here is Not bowling. Oh, she's been caught. Would you believe it? Sophia Dunkley looking to try and finish it in style, and she's been caught at straight mid-wicket. What could Not do here? 1 for 29, 1 ball to go in her set. Turned round the corner. It's another. Would you believe it? At the start of her next match, Not will be on a hat-trick. The scores are level. Only 1 run required for victory. Here is Franklin working the ball down to the vacant third. It's going to run away for a boundary. And again, very impressive from the table-topping Stars. They've made it 4 wins from 5. Well, it's a great time to be a fan of the Stars. They've been so good here. There is the match summary, Michael, and you look at everything within those columns, and it shows just how dominant they were today.
Winners by 6 wickets with 11 balls to spare, but in truth, South East Stars were always in control of this game. Vipers total looked at least 20 under par, even thanks to that stand of 69 unbroken for the 7th wicket from Monaghan and Southby, just to get them up to 142. And South East Stars always looked pretty comfortable in the chase. 50 from Dunkley, Schofield's second 50 in T20s this season. 8 wins from 10 completed games for the South East Stars across 50 over and T20 cricket. Unbeaten in the T20s, 4 wins and a washout thus far in the Charlotte Edwards Cup. And the double champs, the reigning double champions of English women's domestic cricket, the Southern Vipers, have now been beaten by the South East Stars in the 50-over format at Beckenham in a tight game in April, and now today in a less tight game in June in T20. And if that isn't a statement of intent, I don't know what is. I've been Michael McCann. Thanks very much to Jamie Reid alongside me. Do join us for part 2, the Vitality Men's Blast, Surrey versus Somerset later on. But for now, the Stars remain unbeaten in women's T20 cricket this season.